Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet.
Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime on a Monday with episodes of Dragnet, Crime and Peter Chambers, Casey Crime Photographer, Barry Craig Confidential Investigator, and we'll wrap it all up with an episode of Claudia. That's what's coming up on this Monday. This is the 6th day of April, the 96th day of the year, 269 days left in 2026. John Tyler inaugurated as the 10th president of the U.S. on this date in 1841. Celluloid, patented on this date in 1869. In Athens on this date in 1896, the opening of the first modern Olympic Games, 1,500 years after being banned by Roman Emperor Theodosius I. Robert Peary allegedly reached the North Pole on this date in 1909.
The splendid frozen jewel of the North, for which through centuries men of every nation have struggled and suffered and died, is won at last.
Perry's claim has been disputed because of failings in his navigational ability. U.S. declared war on Germany on this date in 1917, the start of the U.S. involvement in World War I. Walter Varney Airlines made its first commercial flight on this date in 1926. Varney, the route company of United Airlines. Will Rogers began doing the Will Rogers program on radio on this date in 1930. Debuting on the Blue Network of NBC on this date in 1931, Little Orphan Annie. Of course, the Blue Network is now known as ABC. Teflon discovered on this date in 1938. And the Seattle World's Fair debuted on this date in 1962.
I love the fair in Seattle, too, and a galaxy of fun in the Gateway.
Seattle World's Fair, here we come!
The World's Fair, officially known as the Century 21 Exposition, boasted of nearly 10 million attendees, and it actually made a profit. The launch of Early Bird, the first communications satellite to be placed in synchronous orbit, took place on this date in 1965. And it was on this date in 1976, during the Democrat National Convention, Jimmy Carter almost derailed his path to the White House by opposing integration for integration's sake.
I have nothing against a community that's made up of people who are Polish, or who are Czechoslovakians, or who are French Canadians, or who are blacks, from trying to maintain the ethnic purity of their neighborhood. This is a natural inclination on the part of people.
Carter did say he supported open housing laws that criminalize refusal to sell or rent based on race, creed, color, or ethnic origin, but Carter was forced to back down on that general opposition. Secretary of the Interior James Watt banned the Beach Boys from performing their annual 4th of July concert on the National Mall on this date in 1983 on the grounds that rock concerts drew an undesirable element.
To ignore the great majority of the American public who enjoys rock music is just pure stupidity.
We attract parents with children.
Yeah.
At our concerts at the same time. You know, it's a very middle-of-the-road kind of band, and I'm really surprised. Of course, Watt always makes me embarrassed I'm a Republican, but that's my own problem.
Al Jardine and Bruce Johnston of the Beach Boys. 1987 on this date, Sugar Ray Leonard went the distance to win a controversial 12-round decision over Marvelous Marvin Hagler at Caesars Palace in Las Vegas.
Tonight was a special accomplishment for me.
Yeah, congratulations.
And I respect everyone's opinion and personal viewpoints of the fight. But this fight meant the world to me. I'd like to extend a congratulations to Marvelous Marvin Hagler for giving me the opportunity to make history.
The 29-year-old Leonard returning to the ring from a 5-year first retirement and had been warned he was risking his sight with a detached retina. In 2017, the military launched 59 Tomahawk cruise missiles at an airbase in Syria. Russia described the strikes as an aggression, adding they significantly damaged U.S.-Russian ties. Passing away on this date in history, Prince Rainier of Monaco.
His Serene Highness Prince Rainier III has ceased to be among us. Death has torn him from his family and his people.
Prince Rainier was married to screen star Grace Kelly. Among others passing on this date, accused murderer Sam Shepard, composer Igor Stravinsky, science fiction author Isaac Asimov, the Plasmatics' Wendy O. Williams, musician Tammy Wynette, Mickey Rooney passing on this date, as did singer, guitarist Merle Haggard, Don Rickles, you hockey puck, passing away on this date, and passing away a year ago today, Jay North, Dennis the Menace to television viewers. Birthdays on this date of those who are no longer with us include the wonderful broadcaster Lowell Thomas, musician Jerry Mulligan, Andre Previn, also Hogan's Heroes actor and director Ivan Dixon, and passing away on his birthday. Did he do that in 2016? He did. Musician Merle Haggard. All those folks born on this date in history, they are all performing on an entirely new stage.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
Billy D. Williams, 89 years old today. From the Invaders, Roy Finnis is 88. The master of the pan flute, Zamfir, is 85. He producer-director, movies like The Diner, The Natural, Good Morning Vietnam, Bugsy, Rain Man, Barry Levinson turns 84 today. Cliff Clavin from Cheers, John Ratzenberger is 79. From Taxi, Mary Lou Henner is 74. From The Walking Dead and Guardians of the Galaxy, Michael Rooker is 71. Paul Rudd is 57 today.
Large is large. In fact, tall is large, and grande is Spanish for large. Venti's the only one that doesn't mean large. It's also the only one that's Italian.
From the movie Role Models, also Paul Rudd from Clueless and Ant-Man, he's 57 today. From Scrubs, Zach Braff is 51.
I can't believe today's my last day at Sacred Heart. I couldn't help but let my mind drift back to my very first day.
From Scrubs, Zach Braff, 51. DJ Tanner from Full House, Candace Cameron Burr, is 50 years old today. From Vampire Diaries and The Flash, Rick Cosnett is 43. From the middle, Charlie McDermott is 36. And twins Peyton and Spencer List, they are both 28 today. Of course, Peyton List from Cobra Kai, and Spencer has done her share of acting as well. Those just a few of the people tell us celebrating the 6th day of April as their birthday. If this is your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 freshmen, and we just want to say, Happy birthday to you!
Thanks to so many of you for supporting Professor B's Digestive Aid, checking it out at profbees.com. 2 simple ingredients, pure honey and apotheria, an ancient herb from Rome. And check it out if you haven't at profbees.com, promo code Wyatt. It has helped people with many issues. If you're tired of dealing with rolls of Rolaids and handfuls of Tums, tired of over-the-counter or prescription medication for stuff like acid reflux and other digestive issues, check out Professor B's Digestive Aid and see if it will work for you. There's a questionnaire there at the webpage. You can find the link in the show notes. You can also find it at classicradio.stream. profbees.com. Promo code Wyatt if you decide to purchase. That not only supports the podcast, but it also saves you 10%. It gets you the best price available on Professor B's Digestive Aid. Check it out. Give yourself natural relief for those gut issues with Professor B's Digestive Aid. profbees.com, profbees.com, promo code Wyatt. Up next, just the facts, ma'am. Jack Webb with Dragnet is next.
Demetrius and the Gladiators, the continuation of The Robe, the greatest story of love and faith in the history of entertainment, in CinemaScope, starring Victor Mature, Susan Hayward. See 20th Century Fox's Demetrius and the Gladiators in CinemaScope.
Let's get rolling on this Monday Classic Radio Theater. Jack Webb from 1954, 72 years ago, an episode entitled The Big Saw.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet is brought to you by Chesterfield, made by Liggett & Myers, first major tobacco company to bring you a complete line of quality cigarettes.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. 2 masked gunmen have held up a bank in your city. The victims can't give you a lead to their identity. Your job, find them. Today, friends, you hear these 3 words everywhere. Chesterfield's for me. The Chesterfield you smoke today is the best cigarette ever made. Best for you, because Chesterfield gives you proof of highest quality, low nicotine. The taste you want, the mildness you want. Chesterfield is best for you because it's tested and approved by 30 years of scientific tobacco research. Chesterfield is best for you because it has an established good record with smokers, proven by test after test. Yes, friends, the Chesterfield you smoke today is the best cigarette ever made. For the taste you want, the mildness you want. Join the thousands now changing to Chesterfield. Always say, Chesterfield's for me.
Dragnet, the documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Tuesday, June 3rd. It was warm in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back from the street, and it was 8:47 a.m. when I got to the rear of the bank, the manager's office.
I'm not a young woman anymore. I can't take this kind of excitement.
Yes, ma'am. You checked with them?
Yeah, they got the broadcast out right away. It's a long shot if it pays off.
Yeah, not much of a description, huh?
Well, I hope you're not saying that for my benefit, young man. I gave you all I could. It was hard to see their faces with those scarves on. Maybe you could have done better, but I couldn't.
We're not trying to say that you didn't do good, ma'am. We understand the handicap that you were under.
I should hope so. Terrible thing. I'm not a young woman anymore.
Yes, ma'am. Now, would you tell us just exactly what happened now, right from the beginning?
You mean starting when I come in this morning?
Yes, ma'am, that's right.
8 o'clock, just like always. That's when I got here.
Uh-huh.
Opened the door with my key and came right on in, little suspecting what was waiting for me. I tell you, I was pretty surprised when they popped out at me.
You didn't see them at first, then, huh?
Of course not. You think I would have come in if I'd have seen them?
No, ma'am.
Certainly not. Never would have come in.
When did you first see the 2 men?
I came in and locked the door behind me. Rules say you got to lock the door. I did, and then I went back to the clothes closet to hang up my coat and umbrella.
I see. Go ahead.
Kind of silly, I guess, carrying an umbrella on a day like this, but I always do. Never know.
Yes, ma'am.
People always kind of smirk at me for carrying one, but whenever it rains out of a clear sky, they don't smirk then. I'm always the center of a crowd, you just bet you.
Yes, ma'am. Would you go ahead with what happened, please?
Well, I hung up my umbrella and my coat, and then I came out the main part of the bank, right out where those 2 assassins were.
And that's when you saw them, is that right?
Oh, no, they were cagey. They waited until I was away from the alarm system. They were real sly.
I see. Go ahead.
I walked out the tables. You know where the deposit slips are out in the center?
Yes, ma'am.
Out there.
Mm-hmm.
I walked out straight and up. It really isn't my job, but I didn't have anything else to do, so I thought I'd maybe just check and see if any of the points needed new nibs. I like a neat place. You know, all the slips in the right place, blotters all clean and new. Neat.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. When did you see the thieves?
As I was straightening up the counter. That's when they stepped out in the open.
Where were they, ma'am?
Over in the escrow department, hiding behind the desks, I guess. That's the direction they came from.
I see. Now, what'd they say to you?
The big one. He looked at me with his steely eyes and told me to be quiet and nothing would happen. Said to be just quiet. I'm not young anymore, Sergeant. A thing like that can be a tremendous shock.
Yes, ma'am. Were both of the men together at that time?
I don't understand.
Well, did they both come out from behind the counter?
Oh, yes. The big one had a machine gun, and the other, the little scrawny one, had a pistol.
Now, you're positive the big one had a machine gun?
Listen, young man, I've seen enough movies and television to know a machine gun when I see it. Don't you think I don't?
Now, about the pistol, was it a revolver or an automatic?
What?
Well, look here. Did it look like this gun of mine?
No, it wasn't like that. It was more the kind you see in movies. More mean-looking than that. Real mean-looking, kind of flat-like.
I see. It was an automatic then, huh?
Well, I don't know what it was, but it was real mean. And furthermore, I wouldn't be surprised if there were real bullets in it. Not in the least.
All right. Now, after they came out from behind the counter, what happened?
They asked me what time the rest of the staff came in.
Mm-hmm.
I told them, any time. That seemed to make them happy.
Why you say that?
Because one of them, the big one, turned to the little runt and said, "Just like clockwork." That's what he said. Just like clockwork. I'm going to tell you something. Sort of a clue.
Yes, ma'am. What's that?
These fellas been planning this a long time. They knew all about how the bank works. What time everybody comes in and all. They even knew about the keys.
What keys?
The ones to the bank door. They knew who had them.
Uh-huh.
First thing they wanted to know after they asked about the staff was where my key was.
You have a key to the vault?
No, not to the vault itself. Just to the doors in front of it. You know the barred doors in front of the vault door?
Yes, ma'am.
To those.
Uh-huh.
Did you give the men your key?
I didn't have much to say about it. I told you, I think they might have had real bullets in those guns, and I wasn't about to make sure.
Yes, ma'am.
After all, I pay my taxes. Catching those fellas is your job, not mine. If you want to cash a check, I can take care of you. But I'm not about to go out and apprehend no thieves.
Yes, ma'am. What happened then?
You mean after I gave them the key?
That's right, yes.
They made me get off to one side of the front doors and wait for the rest of the staff. As they'd come in, the hold-up men would make them get into the closet in the rear of the bank, where I hung my umbrella.
Yes, ma'am. But they let you stay outside, did they?
Oh, yes, they had me right up in front, with those guns pointed at me every second. Every second. I guess they wanted me to act as kind of a decoy.
Ma'am?
Well, when the other people who work in the bank came up to the door, they could look inside and see me standing there. That way, I guess they thought there wasn't anything wrong. Came right in, like lambs to the slaughter. Next thing they knew, there was a gun in their ribs and they was locked up in the closet.
Mm-hmm. What time did the manager come in?
Poor Mr. Blanton. He's not well, you know. He's not well at all.
Yes, ma'am. We saw him out front.
Is he all right? He had an awful attack. Bad heart.
Well, they've taken him to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital.
Did they find his pills?
What's that?
His pills. Mr. Blanton had a special kind of pills he takes when he has an attack. Some kind of explosive. Always has them with him. Did the men find them?
Well, I guess they did, or else they had the necessary medication with him. He's going to be all right. Just needs some rest.
I'm glad of that. Sweet man.
Mm-hmm.
Widower.
What happened when he came in?
Mr. Blanton?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, he was just about pulled right in off the streets. He just got his key in the door, and they practically just yanked him right in. Right away, wanted his key to the vault door. You have to have both of them in order to open it. Both of them have to be turned at the same time.
I see.
They asked him for his key. At first, he didn't want to give it to him. Told him to get out of his bank and to stop the foolishness. Just like that, he told him. I thought they were going to shoot him, but they didn't. I think if it hadn't been for the big one, they would have. The scrawny one wanted to kill Mr. Blanton right in cold blood.
Uh-huh.
But the big one stopped him. Said to just get on with the job and get out of there. That's what he said, to get out of there. That's when Mr. Blanton passed out, cold, right on the floor. Attack.
You want to go ahead?
Well, I guess they just about had a fight between themselves over that.
Oh, how do you mean?
The big one really read the runt off. Told him he was stupid for making poor Mr. Blanton pass out. Said that now they'd have to wait for the combination of the safe. But I stopped that.
How's that?
I gave him the combination.
You told him how to open the safe?
Certainly. With poor Mr. Blanton laying there on the floor, all I could think about was them getting out of there. That's all that was important.
That's when they opened the safe, didn't they?
Yeah. Went right over to Mr. Blanton and got his key out of his pocket and unlocked the door. By then, the lock had switched off, and they just opened up the vault and went in. Cleaned it right out. Just scooped up the money and put it in a black bag and left. First off, of course, they locked me up in the closet with the others, and then they left.
Now, who turned in the alarm?
I guess it was Mr. Blanton. He was laying on the floor where he'd fell. I guess he came to enough to get to the alarm system and turned it on. Must have been him. Wasn't anybody else who could have done it.
Mm-hmm. During the time the men were in the bank, did you hear them use any names?
I don't think I understand what you mean.
Well, do they call each other by name at any time?
Not that I heard. Is it important?
Well, it'd help.
I didn't hear him use any, but if worse comes to worse, I can do something about it.
Yes, ma'am.
I've got a couple for him.
We obtained a complete description of the hold-up pair, and a supplemental broadcast was put out. The crime lab crew came out to the scene and went over the premises for physical evidence. From their investigation, we found that the bandits had made their entrance through a rear window. They'd sawed through the steel bars and broken the glass. From there, they'd come in and apparently had waited for the employees to arrive. We'd ascertained from the cashier that both men had worn gloves, so there was no chance of getting any fingerprints. In the dirt on the alley pavement, Lee Jones was able to find several good impressions of footprints. These were photographed and booked as evidence. Because of their placement, it was more than likely that they belonged to the thieves. Also in the alley, he found several broken hacksaw blades. These were booked, their numbers noted, and a request sent to the manufacturer for the name of the store that had sold them. The other employees of the bank were questioned, and they verified the story and the description that we'd gotten from the cashier. The Staats office started a run on the M.O. used, and the victims were taken downtown and asked to go through the mug books. They were not able to give us an identification of the thieves. That afternoon at 3:47 p.m., Frank and I met back in the squad room.
Hi.
Hi.
How'd the Staats office do?
Well, I got the list right here, 18 possibles.
Yeah. Any of them look good?
Couple. Skipper around?
No. You went over to the inspector's office. Anything special?
Well, I wanted to check with him on who's going to work with us on this thing.
We left word. Murph and Gaffney are with us. We can use Pinky and Stromwell if we need them.
Is Murph around?
No, I went down to R&I. He had a hunch this might tie in with a heist they worked on last month. Same M.O. Figured he might as well check it out.
Well, as soon as he gets back, maybe he'll give us a hand with this list, huh?
Yeah.
How about the bank manager? Any word there?
I called Georgia Street, talked with Dr. Sebastian. He said Blanton has been released to his own doctor.
What kind of conditions is he in?
Should be able to talk to him tonight. Guess it was a pretty bad attack. Sebastian said he was in rough shape.
Well, let's check out. We can tag Murph in the hall. Is Gaffney with him?
He was.
All right, let's go. You want to sign us out?
Yeah.
I got it. Robbery Friday. Yeah, he's here. Just a minute. For you, Frank.
Okay. You want to take care of the book?
Yeah.
Who is it?
He didn't say. Just want to talk to you.
Oh. Smith speaking. Yeah, that's right. Huh? Yeah, sure we can. Yes, sir, we can right away. You want to give me that address? Uh-huh. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. I have it. Yeah, right away. Goodbye. It's Blanton's doctor.
Yeah?
Says he wants to see us right away.
Yeah, what about?
Well, Blanton says he remembers that when the thieves left the bank, a customer came up to the door.
Yeah?
He heard the big one tell the other one to take off his mask.
Uh-huh.
The customer got a good look at both of them.
We left the office immediately and drove over to the bank manager's home. We talked with his doctor, and we obtained permission to ask a few questions. Blanton told us that as the two thieves had left the bank, a woman passerby had noticed the bank manager's key still in the front door lock. She'd stopped and knocked at the door to notify someone in the bank about the keys. As she did, the two hold-up men had taken off their masks and passed directly in front of her. We asked Blanton if he knew the woman, but he said that he'd never seen her before. We asked if it was possible that she might be a customer of his bank. He said it was possible that he'd just never seen her before. He gave us her description, and we started to check with the bank employees in the hopes that one of them could identify her. None of them could. We got out a supplemental bulletin asking that the woman be picked up. In the meantime, Officers Murphy and Rafferty had checked out the list of possibles that the Staats office had come up with. All of the names on the list either had alibis or could establish that they were not near the bank when it was robbed. We checked all FI cards filed in the area without result. Frank and I checked out of the office at 12:18 a.m. and went home to get some sleep. The next day, Wednesday, June 3rd, Frank was waiting for me when I got to work.
Don't sit down. We got a call to make.
Yeah?
Marie Logan called. You remember the rental car agent out in the valley?
Oh, yeah. She gave us a hand on the identity of that young fellow that knocked over the liquor store out at Tilden and Ethel, wasn't it?
That's the one.
Well, what she got?
Might be nothing, but we ought to check it out.
Uh-huh.
Says there's a woman who hangs around the local bars mooching drinks. Never got a dime.
Yeah?
She came in to see Marie yesterday afternoon. Wanted to rent a car to drive to New York.
Where do we fit in?
She wanted to pay in advance.
Yeah.
Offered Marie brand new $100 bills.
From the statement we'd gotten from the bank, we knew that in the $34,000 the thieves had taken, there were several $1,000s in $100 bills. Frank and I signed out of the office and drove out to the San Fernando Valley. At the corner of Valley, Hart Boulevard, and Dickens, we found Marie Logan's rental agency. There was a line of late model cars in front of the lot, and at the rear, we found a small wooden building. Frank knocked at the door, and we waited.
Yeah. Oh, hi, it's you.
Hello, Miss Logan.
Miss Logan?
Hi, Sergeant, Mr. Smith. Come on in.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
I sure hope I haven't brought you guys out here on a wild goose chase. Hope it works out.
All right, you want to fill us in?
This woman, name's Betty Gallick. Hangs around the bars in the neighborhood, spends her time cadging drinks. Real bum.
Mm-hmm. Why do you figure we might be interested?
A couple of times she's come in to rent a car just to use around town. First few times I was stuck.
How do you mean?
Checks. She'd pay the deposit with a check. Then when she brought the car back, she'd pay the bill by check.
I see.
Check would bounce. Then when I'd call her, she'd come in and pick it up and give me the cash to cover it. That was the only reason I didn't turn it over to you. She always paid up.
Mm-hmm. Now, this time she had the cash, though.
Yeah.
Came in, wanted a new Lincoln to drive to New York. She was dressed like always, cheap cotton dress, cloth coat, even had the imitation leather purse. Kind of supposed to look like real leather, but as soon as you get inside 10 feet, you know it isn't. You know what I mean?
Yes, I think
That kind. Well, anyway, when she asked for the car, I told her I couldn't let her have it, said I'd been stung too many times before. So right off, she said she wanted to pay cash. That's when she opens his crummy purse, and the dough almost fell out. Must have had a couple of $1,000s in there, maybe more.
Well, you said something on the phone about $100 bills.
Yeah, she pulled out a couple of them to show me she could pay cash. I asked her where she got them.
What'd you say to that?
Said it wasn't any of my business. Told me as long as she had the money and a driver's license, I should ought to rent her the car. I thought I ought to check with you first.
Now, you got an address on this Gallic woman?
Yeah. After I called this morning, I checked through the records. Got her home address and the driver's license number.
She got any friends you know of?
Just about on every bar stool where she hung out.
I mean anyone special.
Oh, I don't know. I saw her a couple of times with the same guy in the place down at the corner. Hot days, I sometimes go down there for a beer. Well, I've seen her there with this one guy a couple of times.
You know who he is?
No, not his name. I've seen the two of them drive away together a couple of times. He's got a flashy convertible. Guess he drove it out here.
Well, how do you mean?
The car's got a New York license plate. Oh, excuse me.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Logan Reynolds Service. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, I know her. Yeah. You sure about that? Sure. Okay. Thanks. Goodbye. That tears it.
What's wrong?
There was a rental agency in Hollywood. Called to ask me about Betty Gallic. Seems she gave me as a reference.
Yeah.
Came into their place and rented a car from them. Paid cash for it.
Was she there now?
No, she left for New York this morning.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
One of the biggest comedy hits of the year. That's how the movie critics are describing Bob Hope's latest Paramount picture, Casanova's Big Night. Like so many other millions of smokers, Bob and Audrey Dalton, who appears with him in the picture, say Chesterfields for me. First, Audrey Dalton.
I changed to Chesterfield king size because I think it's better than any other king size cigarette.
Bob Hope says,
5 years. That's how long I've been smoking Chesterfields. And they have what it takes to satisfy me. What's more, I've seen how they make Chesterfields down in their Durham factory. And I wouldn't smoke any other cigarette. Try Chesterfields yourself. You'll find they're best for you, too.
yes, either way, regular or king size, smoke America's most popular two-way cigarette. Join the thousands now changing to Chesterfield.
We contacted the rental agency that had leased the car to Betty Gallic. From them, we got a description of the car and the license number. We put out a local and an all-points bulletin on the vehicle. We got in touch with the New York authorities and asked them to be on the lookout for the car. We got the Gallic woman's address from the rental agency, and we checked out her house. We found nothing to give us any indication as to where she might have gone, but we did find a silk scarf similar to the one described by the victims as having been worn by the hold-up men. We checked with the neighbors, but none of them could tell us where Betty Gallic had gone. 2 days went by while we followed down every lead that turned up. The information from the crime lab was checked out, but it led us nowhere. The serial numbers on the hacksaw blades had come back, but when we talked to the store owner, he was unable to tell us who had bought them. Saturday at 12 noon, a meeting was held in the offices of Thad Brown. Members of the Federal Bureau of Investigation were there. They had agents working on the case, but they hadn't been able to come up with any more information than we'd gotten. 2:14 p.m. Frank and I got back to the office.
The chief is your man.
Well, do you blame him? We haven't got very much.
Well, seems like every time we do get a lead worth anything, it goes to nothing.
Yeah, well, it's got to end someplace. I got it. Robbery Friday. Yeah, We did? No, when? Yeah, right. No, I'll be right down to pick it up. Yeah, thanks. Bye. How's communications? They just got a wire from Chicago.
Yeah.
They picked up the Gallic woman. Betty Gallic had been picked up south of Chicago and held in answer to our communication. However, when she was picked up, she was in the company of 2 other women. They were identified as her sisters. We made arrangements to talk to her by long-distance telephone. As soon as we started to ask her questions regarding the bank robbery, she admitted being the driver of the getaway car. She told us that the theft had been planned by a man she knew only as Dean. She was unable to tell us any more about him. She went on to say that she'd met him in a bar in the valley along with the other 2 men. She identified these two men as Richard and Matt. She was unable to give us their last names or tell us any more about them. She did say, however, that Matt was from New York and that as far as she knew, he was there at the time. She went on to say that he was not with the trio when the bank was held up. We questioned her further, but she was unable to give us any additional information on the three men. She did, however, tell us that they had stayed at a motel located on Sepulveda Boulevard. She gave us the name and the approximate location. She was detained pending extradition in Chicago. Saturday evening, Frank and I drove out to the motel that the Gallic woman had mentioned. We rang the bell and waited.
Yeah? Lights on. We got no vacancies.
Police officers, we want to ask you some questions.
What about?
A couple of men who stayed here.
Anybody in this place who's got trouble with the cops has to get out. You tell me who they are, and I'll throw them right at you. I don't want no trouble. Now, who are you looking for?
One of them's tall, the other's short. Named Dean and Richard.
What about the last name?
We haven't got that.
I don't need it. I know who you mean.
Yeah.
Sure. Dean Franklin, Dick Norton. A couple of no goods. They ain't here no more.
You know where they are?
I'm not sure. I think maybe I got an address in my desk. Come on in.
Thank you.
I'm Jim Allison.
Well, this is Frank Smith. My name's Friday.
What have the boys done?
Just routine. We want to talk to them.
You won't tell me, huh?
It'll be better if we talk to them about it.
Well, have it your own way. I don't want to get mixed up in anything. Those boys got themselves a bucket of trouble. I want no part of it. While they was here, they paid their rent and didn't cause much trouble. That's all I was interested in, as long as they didn't cause any trouble.
Yes, sir. How long ago did they leave?
I guess it's about a week ago. I got it in the books. I can check it for you if you want.
Yes, sir. We'd like to have the information.
Sure, I'll get it for you.
They have any visitors while they were here?
A couple of guys come around in the morning. That's about it, though. Look like bill collectors. The boys never let them inside. Used to talk on the porch.
Mm-hmm. The three of them move out at the same time?
No. Matt left a couple of days before. Said he was going back east. I think he had some kind of a job back there. They wasn't real chummy, you know. Kind of kept to themselves.
All right, sir. Would you see if you got that address where they might be?
Oh, sure. Forgot all about it. It's in the desk, I think. Always running into this kind of thing with a motel.
Yes, sir. What's that?
Wrong people renting rooms. We got no way of checking on them. Seems like whenever somebody's got trouble, they pick a motel to have it, and it never ends. Now, let's see. Yeah, here it is. They left this in case I got any mail for them. Said just to send it on. Here you are.
Thank you.
It's a place out in West Los Angeles.
Thank you very much, sir.
Glad to help out. You can't tell me what this is about, huh?
No, sir. It's police business.
You figure you're going to have any trouble with them?
Well, it's hard to say. It'll depend on how they want it.
Well, if I was you, I'd take it easy picking them up.
Why?
Because I know Franklin's got a gun.
We obtained the license number and the description of the car that the suspects had driven. It was a late model convertible with New York license plates. Before we left the motel, we called R&I and checked the names Dean Franklin and Richard Norton. We found that both of them had long felony records. We talked to Captain Donahoe and had two more teams of men sent out from the office to meet us at the address that we'd gotten from the motel manager. From what we knew of the two men, taking them into custody would be difficult. Frank and I left the motel and drove out to the address in West Los Angeles. It was a one-story wooden building set well back on a weed-filled lot. A late model car was in the driveway. 10 minutes after we got there, Officers Murphy, Rafferty, Meade, and Leitner met us. Murphy had brought two sawed-off shotguns loaded with double-aught buck and several tear gas grenades. The only chance we had of taking them in without bloodshed was to use the one element on our side, surprise. Murphy and Rafferty went around to the street at the back of the house, and Leitner took the other. When all of us were in position, Frank and I prepared to move up to the front door.
You all set?
Just a minute. All right, let's go.
I don't see anything.
Well, they might have seen us. You better take it easy.
Right.
All right, let's make it for the porch.
Yeah.
Come on. You okay?
Yeah.
All right, now I'll take the door. When we get inside, you go to the left, I'll handle the right side.
Right.
You all set?
Yeah.
Now.
How about it?
Nothing. Place is empty. We searched the house, but we found no trace of the suspects. From the clothing in the closets, we figured that they had not moved out. And going over the house, we found a machine gun hidden in one of the bedrooms. The cartridge clip was loaded, and the gun was ready for use. We pulled the clip, called the office, and told them where we were, and then we settled down to wait for the suspects to return. Murphy and Rafferty covered the rear approaches to the house. Meade and Leitner were in cars parked down the street, and Frank and I waited in the front room. At 10:46 p.m., the phone in the house rang 3 times, and then it stopped. We waited for Franklin and Norton to come back. 11 p.m., 11:30. Still no sign of them. Started to get cold in the house. Midnight. 12:30, the phone rang again. 12:45. From down the street, we heard a car approach.
Joe?
Yeah.
You see anything?
Just a minute. Pull that curtain back. It's a Ford sedan coming down this way. Pulled into the driveway. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's them.
Just the two of them?
Near as I can tell, yeah. They're getting out of the car.
Yeah. How about Lightner and Meade?
Yeah, they see them. They're starting to get out of the car down there. Better cover the door. They're coming in.
Right.
Police officer, stand still.
Run, Dick, run!
Get the other one, Frank.
Hold it up. Hey, Meade, Lightner, he's coming at you. No, hold it up. We got him, Frank.
All right, Franklin, turn around.
How'd you get to us? Who told you?
Put your hands behind you.
Who told you we were here? Somebody had to tell you. You'd never have got us without somebody tipping you. It was that lush Betty, wasn't it? It was her that told you.
All right, outside. Come on, move.
Had to be her. She was the only one that knew. Had to be her. You'd never have made it without her.
You're wrong.
Huh?
We'd have made it. Come on.
The story you have just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On November 14th, trial was held in Department 92, Superior Court of the State of California, in and for the County of Los Angeles. In a moment, the results of that trial.
Now, here is our star, Jack Webb.
Thank you, George Fenneman. Thousands of smokers all across the country are now changing to Chesterfield. We'd like you to give them a try, too. I know you'll like them because the Chesterfield you smoke today is the best cigarette ever made. For the taste you want and the mildness you want, smoke America's most popular two-way cigarette. Regular or king size, Chesterfield.
Dean Roger Franklin, Richard Henry Norton, and Betty Elaine Gallick were tried and convicted of robbery in the first degree. Robbery in the first degree is punishable by imprisonment in the state penitentiary for a period of from 5 years to life. Further investigation showed that Matthew Arthur Ross had no part or knowledge of the crime. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors, Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Vance Brasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Helen Klebe, Georgia Ellis, Vic Perrin. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
Watch an entirely different Dragnet case history each week on your local NBC television station. Please check your newspapers for the day and time. Chesterfield has brought you Dragnet, transcribed from Los Angeles.
Filter cigarette smokers, here is headline news. Nationwide demand for L&M filters drops price. Now you save up to 4 cents a pack, 40 cents a carton. Now everyone can afford America's highest quality and best filter tip cigarette. Remember, only L&M's have the miracle filter tip containing alpha cellulose. You get much more flavor, much less nicotine. Buy L&M filters, the distinctive monogram cigarette at the new low price. L&M filters.
Hear Dane Clark in Crime and Peter Chambers following John Cameron Swayze and the news on the NBC Radio Network.
And we will hear Dane Clark coming up in a few moments, and I'm not John Cameron Swayze, but I can do the news. From Tuesday, April 6, 1954, 72 years ago, Dragnet on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up next, we'll take a look at some of the news headlines from this date 72 years ago.
CinemaScope, the modern miracle you see without glasses, takes you under the sea in Beneath the 12-Mile Reef where men challenge the killer kingdom of tiger, shark, and giant octopus for booty, power, love. Don't miss Robert Wagner, Terry Moore, and Gilbert Rowland in Beneath the 12-Mile Reef in CinemaScope.
All right, before we get to Dane Clark and Crime and Peter Chambers, let's take a look at some of the news headlines from this date 72 years ago, Tuesday, April 6, 1954. President Eisenhower said last night, as long as Russia knows this country can retaliate, the men in the Kremlin won't likely start a war. Whenever the men in the Kremlin start a war, he said, they run the risk of losing their power. We're not going to start a war, the president declared, regardless of this country's advantage in atomic weapons. And as long as they know we can retaliate, Eisenhower said, war is not a course the Russians would embark on lightly. Yet, he said, and quoting, they might do this in a fit of madness or despair, and this nation must be vigilant. Prime Minister Winston Churchill yesterday disclosed a secret pact he made with the late President Roosevelt in 1943, giving Britain and the U.S. a veto over each other's use of the atomic bomb. The hush-hush agreement, which is no longer in effect, also provided for mutual British-American development of atomic energy. Secretary of State John Foster Dulles warned yesterday the Chinese communists with a rather ominous new combat role in Indochina. They're coming awfully close to the fresh aggression that he has said could bring American retaliation. But he told the House Foreign Affairs Committee this country has made no commitments to send troops to Indochina. Members of the Senate Investigations Subcommittee agreed yesterday to take a vote on whether Samuel P. Sears, prominent Boston lawyer, is impartial enough to act as special counsel in their probe of the fight between Senator Joseph McCarthy and high Army officials. Acting Chairman Munt, the Republican of South Dakota, announced the group will meet at 9:30 today to assess Sears' qualifications. Prime Minister Winston Churchill said yesterday, although the Russians are well behind the U.S. in development of the hydrogen bomb, they are making a closer race than they ever did with atomic weapons. The Supreme Court yesterday put the stamp of legality on most radio and television giveaway programs. Only those which require contestants to contribute a price or a thing of value are outlawed. The decision, said the Federal Communications Commission, in trying to put giveaway programs off the air, overstepped the boundaries of legal interpretation and hence exceeded its rulemaking authority. The Supreme Court, by a 4-3 decision, held yesterday that the Interstate Commerce Commission is without authority to initiate a forced merger of the Florida East Coast Railway with the Atlantic Coastline Railroads. Ernest Hemingway told yesterday how he felt during 2 airplane crashes in the wilds of Africa. Various people in several periodicals have asked me what one thinks of at the hour of one's death, a rather exaggerated phrase, and what it feels like to read one's own obituaries. Writing in the current issue of Look magazine, Hemingway, who emerged from his most recent scrapes with death clutching a bunch of bananas and a bottle of gin, said that when the plane crashed, he only thought of technical problems. Georgia took official action yesterday to defend Southern cooking, which was criticized recently by a TV comedian. Solicitor General Paul Webb of Superior Court served Mrs. Betty Talmadge, wife of Georgia's governor, with a subpoena to appear before the grand jury today. She was ordered to bring before the jury a Dixie-style ham dinner, complete with black-eyed peas, turnip greens, turnip greens, cornbread, buttermilk, grits, and gravy. Webb said this food will be used as evidence to prove that the television comedian Henry Morgan, and we're quoting, has libeled, slandered, and scurrilously misrepresented the culinary arts of Southern womanhood. The Solicitor General told newsmen he will ask the grand jury to indict Morgan for disorderly conduct because of comments on his ABC TV show Leave It to the Girls, March 27th. Morgan and Mrs. Talmadge were panelists on the show. The subject of Southern cooking came up when Mrs. Talmadge said any woman who could read a cookbook could learn to cook nowadays. Morgan quipped, "That may be true if you want to eat what they call Southern cooking. I don't." He went on to say Southern cooking consisted of throwing a lot of turnips and grits into pots of water. He said he wouldn't eat a Georgia dinner if it was placed in front of him. Yeah, that's Henry Morgan. And that's a check of the news stories from this date, 72 years ago, Tuesday, April 6, 1954. On your radio, we'll continue in a moment with the program Crime and Peter Chambers starring Dane Clark. That's coming up next.
CinemaScope sweeps you into the raging tide of India in King of the Khyber Rifles. On the scientifically created CinemaScope screen with stereophonic sound, see Tyrone Power, Terry Moore, Michael Rennie in King of the Khyber Rifles in CinemaScope.
Look, Henry Morgan could be an absolute jerk at times on the air. And I don't love all Southern cooking. A lot of it's pretty darn good. Anyway, let's get on here. Dane Clark, Crime and Peter Chambers, from Tuesday, April 6, 1954, 72 years ago.
Crime and Peter Chambers. Created by Henry Kane, transcribed and starring Dane Clark. A private investigator, duly licensed and duly sworn, Peter Chambers.
You're a private eye. That's your business. Anything else? That's for laughs. You've got a slant of sun coming in the office window, your feet are on the desk, and you're relaxed. Business is lousy, but you've got no kicks. You're young, you're strong, you've got a few bucks in the bank. And it's a beautiful day.
You, Peter Chambers?
All of me, lady. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Not for you. Not for long, anyway.
She's a cute little trick, but nervous as a puppy with fleas. She's wearing a tan suit, molded to her figure, and properly protruding. The rest is in perfect taste. Black nylons, black shoes, black blouse, and black gloves. So she spoils it. She dips into her bag, and what she produces doesn't quite go with the ensemble. Because now she's wearing a pearl-handled gun in her right fist. Looks like a .38, and is pointing directly at you. So you scrape back out of your chair, and you go to her.
Stand back. Stand back, I tell you.
Honey, you're not even holding the gun right.
I know what I'm doing. Keep away from me.
You're shaking like you're practicing to be a cooch dancer. Now relax, little lady.
Keep away, please, please.
Okay, now. I've got the gun, and you're still shaking. Now sit down, lady. What's your name?
Elsa Corey.
What do you do?
Do?
For a living. A gun moll, you ain't.
I'm an actress.
Working?
Yes.
Well, come on, sister. This is like pulling teeth. Let's have it all in one lump.
I have the second lead in The Lady Dances. It's in rehearsal. It's my first real job. It's produced by Jack Burke. He hired me. Anything else?
Where do you live?
1013 East 39th Street, 2B. Oh, please don't point that gun at me.
It's your gun, remember? Okay. I drop it in my jacket pocket like so. See? No more gun. Now, what's this jiggle all about?
Jiggle?
Look, it's a beautiful day. I'm sitting around with my feet on the desk, dreaming my own personal little dream. So a dame drops in, wriggling around a Roscoe, and the Roscoe is blinking its eye at me, so I got a right to ask. What's it all about?
Well, I can't...
Oh, that's coherent. Now, let's do it incoherent this time.
I came here to kill you.
Hmm? Why?
I was sent.
By whom?
Bruce Burke.
Bruce Burke, huh? Well, it's all in the family. Jack Burke, Bruce Burke, two lonely brothers. Well, I never met your producer, but Bruce. Brucey, boy, I know.
I'm sorry. I'm dreadfully sorry. Believe me, I don't think I could have. I couldn't. I know I couldn't.
All right, Elsa. Elsa Corey, simmer down. Just make yourself at home. I'll be back.
Where are you going?
To pay a call on Brucey, boy. Maybe he can fill me in where you can't. Now, don't go away, baby. Papa will be back. Bruce Burke. A crumb right out of the bread box. A bum with a couple of $1 million. A sharpshooter that owns a nightclub called The Flame. You put the light out on the Flame about a year ago, hooked him for watering his stock. So, it's a beautiful day, only for you, suddenly, it's beginning to shape up cloudy. You get to his Park Avenue address, stick your finger on the buzzer. Nobody's home. Well, you've been there before, a 12-room suite for Brucey and his missus. Plus, she's got an apartment on the side. And just for kicks, you try the knob, and very conveniently, the door's not locked. You're inside, but you don't go far. Bruce Burke is napping, face down. Only when you go to turn him over, Brucey boy's napping days are finished. The guy stiff as a bugle, 2 bullet holes in his face, and his rigid leer is like a spiteful grin. And suddenly you feel it. Call it extrasensory perception. You know you've been yanked into a deal that you ought to get out of. Fast. You do a beeline for the door, you pull it open, and you're face to face with Detective Lieutenant Louis Parker, New York City Police, homicide.
Hi, Pete. Fancy, as they say, meeting you here.
Hi, Lieutenant. Same fancy goes for me. What brings you?
Jingle on the phone, what they call anonymous.
Oh, I see. Well, come in.
Thanks for the welcome, Shamus. Hey, what do we got here?
Corpse. Body used to belong to Bruce Burke. Plus.
Plus what, kid?
Plus, I've got a hunch, a little frame job with me in the middle. Yeah, take a look at this. A little encumbrance I'm carrying in my pocket.
I handle it, you notice, by the muzzle. Pearl handle 38 revolver. Okay, what's scoop?
Break it, Lieutenant. I've a vague notion you're going to find 2 shells discharged. I also have a notion that ballistics will show that the 2 bullets in this monkey came out of the gun you're holding.
2 hunks of lead missing.
Figures. And my fingerprints on the handle. And my fingerprints on the doorknob. And me and Bruce Burke supposed to have a feud going.
I hope you got a good story for me, kid. We've been friends a long time.
And a little dame wearing gloves. I'll bet mine are the only fingerprints on that Roscoe.
Better be a good story, kiddo.
Salulu, Lieutenant. Lend an ear. You tell him the tale and he listens. Louie's an old friend. You've worked together for years. He promises a thorough check on the situation, and you promise to be down to see him to check the check. You leave him the pearl handle pistol, and you leg it to the next spot that might furnish a little information. The lady dances is rehearsing at the Ascot on 48th off Broadway. Backstage, there's one solitary guy working a song on a piano.
Well, what do you want, Bub?
Looking for Jack Burke.
I'm Jack Burke.
Stands up from the piano, very fashionable type. White hair, slender figure, $200 suit.
Well, what is it, young man? What do you want here?
Oh, I thought there was a rehearsal going on.
It's off for a while.
Oh, may I ask?
No, you may not ask. What do you want here?
Oh, name's Peter Chambers. I'm a private detective. I'd like to inquire about a young lady, Miss Elsa Corey.
I'm not messing into the affairs of every private shummus that comes barging backstage for some cockeyed reason of his own.
Look, Mr. Burke...
I haven't got the time
Now, just one little minute, Mr. Burke.
Oh, like that, is it? You want to play tough boy, huh? Willie!
A muscle-bound monster comes ambling out of the wings. The guy's 6'4" and practically as wide as he's long. Willie's got a face that's half moron, half pig. And the part of the pig is dangling in a couple of ham-like hands. But you're not worried about Willie. You've got a large ego and a lot of confidence. And you think you can take Willie if you had the time. But right now, you don't have the time. So you turn from Willie to get back to Jack Burke. But you've underestimated Willie. Willie's not as amiable as he looks. You get a hit in the head like a stroke of paralysis, and the lights blaze and start whirling. And then there are no more lights. There's blackness. Whirling, spinning, blackness. You open your eyes and you're sitting on the sidewalk, sprawled like a drunk that forgot how to stop. You're backed against the stage door, but it's locked. You've got a bill to collect with a joker named Willie and a larger bill with his boss, Jack Burke. But you can't. Now. Thoughts joggle in your mind, and then you know where you're going. Loretta Burke is the wife of Bruce Burke, and she's got a lush little cave of her own on Central Park South. You head for it thinking about her. Loretta Burke, who managed a nightclub called The Flame. You head for her diggings, and then you're there.
Hello, Mr. Chambers. To what do I owe the pleasure?
A lush blonde, 30 years younger than Bruce. A page boy blonde with shining hair and shining green eyes. And a figure that brings it to a full stop. Loretta Burke in silver lounging pajamas.
Always nice to see you, Mr. Chambers. May I offer a drink?
You may. I can use it.
Here you are, Mr. Chambers.
Thank you.
Well, you're not yourself today, are you? Gulping your drink.
Well, for a very recent widow, Mrs. Burke, you're certainly bearing up staunchly.
I didn't know that you knew.
Well, let's do a reverse on that, sweetie. I didn't know for sure that you knew.
Look, tough boy, I don't believe in mourning. I don't wear my heart on my sleeve.
No, where do you wear it?
Inside, where it belongs. I'm a gal with a lousy reputation, but in my own peculiar way, I loved him.
Maybe you did in your own peculiar way.
Well, let's put it this way. Whoever killed him, sooner or later, is going to face up to me. Now, you got any comment, Mr. Chambers?
I don't know. This started off as such a beautiful day, and me sitting around thinking about how business is lousy.
Maybe you ought to get out of here and see if you can't stimulate a little.
Gentle hint, Mrs. Burke?
I've got a lot of things to do.
I get it. Well, one question before I leave. You know a little dame by name of Elsa Corey?
Never heard of her.
Bye now. See you around.
You bet you will.
Outside, you called the office about Elsa Corey, but of course our little birdie has jumped the chicken coop. You do a small debate with yourself. Corey or Parker? Which one first? But you promised the lieutenant, so you mosey to police headquarters downtown. You're jogging up the steps when you see him coming out. Now, hurry.
Well, the private eye, or is it the public enemy? You coming to give yourself up?
Lieutenant is jocular, but he looks worried, and when a friend looks worried, you'll begin to worry.
That was the murder gun, Pete, no question. I'm working it slow, working the angles first, because you're involved. But that little Elsa Corey better be around to back up your story.
Oh, what else is new, Lieutenant?
Jack Burke's been scouting for dough for his show. He needs money. Bruce's wife, that doll, always needed dough. Well, they're both falling into it.
How?
Bruce Burke's will. Jack gets half the estate, Loretta Burke gets the other half, plus the nightclub goes to her.
Real cozy, huh?
Now, look, pal, you're not one for throwing stones. Not in this case. So far, all I've really got is you.
Yeah. You've been a doll, Lieutenant, a living, breathing doll.
Well, don't depend on it, Pete, not for too long. I know you, but there's a DA who's beginning to champ at the bit, so let me go to work now, huh?
Where are you heading for?
Date with Jack Burke.
Jack Burke, where?
Casa Moretti, upstairs, private room, number 4.
Look, Louis, one more favor. Give me a 10-minute head start, huh?
Head start with whom?
Jack Burke. I've got a bill to collect, and it's overdue. 10 minutes, Lieutenant? Oh, please, Louis.
Okay, but I hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, I hope so, too. The Casa Moretti is in Greenwich Village, and it serves the longest, skinniest, most flavorsome spaghetti west of a little town called Rome, which they tell me is in Italy. Casa Moretti has a downstairs dining room and an upstairs private room where you can run yourself a tete-a-tete or a banquet, depending on your mood. Your mood right now is for a little private chatter, and you rub your knuckles against a door marked 4.
What? You again? Now, look here.
First, you trip him because you owe it to him.
No!
Then you close the door. Then you drag him into the room. And you give him a quick frisk, but there isn't a thing on him that's incriminating. So now you pick him up and deposit him in a chair. And you slap him back to consciousness.
What?
Live it up, Mr. Burke. Well, listen to the birdie sing.
I'm listening. And you're no birdie. What do you want?
A bit of polite conversation, nothing more.
Well, what do you want?
Johnny One Note, that's me. Little lady by name Elsa Corey. Know her?
Yes, she's the second lead in the show we're rehearsing.
Know her any, better than that?
She's an actress in my show, period.
Have it your way. According to her, she says your brother sent her to see me. Did you introduce her to your brother?
No.
You happen to know if your brother was acquainted with her?
My brother is dead.
I know that.
And from what I hear, you, a private eye by the name of Chambers, you hated his guts.
I'm supposed to know all about that, too.
All right. Is there anything else?
No. I told you all I wanted was a bit of polite conversation.
Well, then get out of here.
Say it nice.
Will you please leave, Mr. Chambers?
Oh, a pleasure, Mr. Burke. A pleasure indeed. There's one stop left. You've done the merry-go-round. You've gone the full circle. Elsa Corey said 1013 East 39th Street. Turns out to be a tinderbox. Ramshackle is an ancient barn on a prairie. Young actresses don't have it too easy, and that is a problem. You climb up to 2B and you knock on a door that's thinner than Melba toast and has about as much resistance. Nobody answers. You turn to leave, and all of a sudden, a hunch comes up and clobbers you. You shove a shoulder at the rattletrap door and you lean hard. You're inside now. Little room with the barest of trimmings. And your hunch is paid off because you're not alone. Elsa Corey sits in a chair and looks at you, but her eyes aren't blinking. Elsa Corey. Her face mottled and blue bruises on her throat. Elsa Corey strangled to death. So, it's still a beautiful day. Only it's not day anymore. It's nighttime. You've gone home and you've put in a little afternoon sleeping, but it hasn't helped. You're way down deep in a jam and you feel it beginning to close in.
How goes it, Pete, boy?
Pretty bad.
Yeah, bad.
Detective Lieutenant Louis Parker, a nice guy and a good friend, but the expression on his face is that of a pallbearer with rheumatism doing his job on a rainy day.
Ain't good, pal. Stinks, in fact.
Yep.
Elsa Corey, she's dead.
Yeah.
We got another one of them phone calls. Anonymous.
I can clear that for you.
Like how?
I made that phone call.
You did?
Yep. I busted into her place and I found her. Like what you found when you got there.
You know what it means, kid.
Got an idea?
You had one little out, an alibi witness named Elsa Corey. Now she ain't with us no more. Where's that leave you?
Crouched behind the 8-ball, only it keeps getting smaller.
Pete, you know how I feel about you, but... Want to come downtown with me now, fella? Tussle it out with the DA's people?
Well, must we...
What's left, kid?
Well, I've got a little night duty to attend to. I've been sort of resting up for it.
Night duty?
Yeah, now look. Let's make a date, Louis. I either collect a killer for you or I present myself.
Present yourself when?
Let's say tomorrow morning, bright and early tomorrow morning. You either get a closed case by then or you've got me.
You know, I only work for a living, Pete. I can get kicked off the force
I
fast.
never crossed you up, Louis, ever. It's been a long time now, you and me. It's one for the storybooks, a private eye and a public cop who can work together and who respect each other. We got a deal.
Deal it is, yeah.
Bye, Lieutenant.
Bye, Detective.
The Flame is a nightclub on the outskirts of town, and that's your next stop. And the last stop, you figure, one way or another. You get the car out of the garage, you drive up and park in their parking lot. The club is a distance off, and you crunch through gravel on your way. You see a uniformed cop a distance off, but you don't see what's right close near you.
Easy does it, mister.
Well, if it ain't little Willie.
That's me, pal.
Willie's loaded with artillery and is jammed to your ribs.
Back up to that shed, mister. Double time we do it.
But you're not having any. You're not turning your back on Willie. You did that once, and once is enough. So the left comes down on the gun, and the right goes to the chin. And down goes Willie with me on top of him. The gun gets kicked out of the way, and Willie absorbs a few additional raps, and then my hands are around his throat.
You're choking me.
That's the general idea, Willie.
Let up, mister. Let up. Let up.
New position, Willie. Now I'm sitting across you like you're a hassock, and my fingers are still around that bull neck of yours. And you're a little weaker, Willie. You're quite a little weaker. Talk, Willie.
What do you want to know?
Why did you conk me backstage at the Ascot?
I got the signal from Jack.
You work for him?
Yeah.
Okay, I think we're in rhythm now. Why did you cloak Bruce Burke?
I didn't.
Oh, you need a little more pressure on your throat. Is that it?
No, I had nothing to do with Bruce.
Okay. Elsa Corey. Talk it up good now, Willie. Well, okay.
I went there. 39th Street. Jack sent me. I did a job on her like Jack told me to do.
Willie passes out of the picture. You get up off him, collect his gun, and go looking for the cop, and latch your law onto Willie with instructions to deposit him in the lap of Detective Lieutenant Louis Parker. Then you brush at your clothes, and you make for the nightclub. The joint is jumping, and it's temptation, but you haven't got the time. You steer through the joyous people to the door marked Office of the Manager, and and you'd open it without knocking.
Well, Peter Chambers, we were just talking about you. Close the door.
The other half of that we is Jack Burke. He's in a tuxedo. And Loretta is in a red off-the-shoulder job that almost gets your mind off your work. But the old mind comes right back to attention because dear Loretta shoves a lily white hand into the desk drawer and it comes up caressing an ugly 45.
Sit down, Mr. Chambers.
Oh, thanks. I'll stand.
Jack and I have been chatting about you.
In what connection?
In connection with the death of my husband.
Lady, you're pointing that gun in the wrong direction.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Jack Burke, who dreamed himself up a foolproof little murder, only I'm going to take it apart for him right now.
This had better be good.
Listen, this guy is in a jam with his show. He's looking for money all over town. Do you know whether he asked Bruce for a loan?
Yes, I know he did. And Bruce turned him down. Bruce had no confidence in the lady dancers.
So Bright Boy figured one out. If he bums Bruce, he gets half of his estate. Even if he can't get the loot right away, he can borrow on the strength of it. So he kills him.
He's a liar.
He knows a little dame, second lead, Elsa Corey. This kid doesn't know which end is up. He gives her the cleaned-up gun, and she's wearing gloves, so it's still clean.
And what is she supposed to do with
She's
it?
supposed to come to me because Jack thinks there's bad blood between me and Bruce. She's to threaten me, not shoot me. No, nothing like that. And she's to tell me that Bruce sent her.
Bruce? Why Bruce?
Because this guy figured it exactly as it happened.
Oh?
I took the gun away from her. I went to Bruce to find out what it was all about. The door was conveniently left open for me, and I found Bruce like this bum had left him. And then a cop show, spurred by an anonymous phone tip. Cute, huh?
Cute enough. Where's the girl? That Elsa Corey.
Yes, where is she? Where is she?
Look at him wiggle. The big producer. Where is she? She's dead.
What?
He wasn't going to let her hang around to testify against him, was he? Did you ever hear of Willie?
Of course.
Willie choked her to death.
Proof, not words.
The law's caught up with Willie. He's yodeling out there like a broken-down jukebox.
Well, that's proof against Willie, not proof against me.
Look at him, squirming like a rat with his tail in a trap. Look at him. How much more proof do you want? The lady looks. Guilt is scribbled on him like the devil is written on his forehead. She lifts the gun, and for a minute you think it's for you. But it isn't. There isn't much left to look at when you get to him. And all of it is very dead.
All right. It's over, and it's done with.
Mind if I sit down for just a couple of minutes?
Sit.
It was a beautiful day before it shaped up cloudy.
What are you talking about?
Then a dame comes in and threatens me with a gun, and I get myself jammed up with the law as a murder suspect, and I get pushed around by an ape named Willie, and then I almost catch up at the wrong end of your 45, but it's finally developed into business.
Business? From whom?
You.
Me?
Next stop for you is a pokey. Maybe with a good lawyer. Who knows? It turns out justifiable homicide.
That's business for a lawyer, not for you.
True enough, but a lawyer's got to have facts. Now, who's better at getting up facts for you than yours truly?
I'm beginning to see what you mean. How much?
Well, for a lady who's coming into $1 million plus a swanky nightclub, how's $5,000?
You've talked yourself into a client, Mr. Chambers. You're hired.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a bunch.
And there you've had Crime and Peter Chambers. Dane Clark was starred as Peter Chambers. Crime and Peter Chambers, transcribed, was created, produced, and written by Henry Kane. Others in the cast were Bill Zuckert, heard as Lieutenant Parker, Fran Carlin as Loretta, and Everett Sloan as Jack. It was directed by Fred Way, and this is Fred Collins inviting you to tune in again next week, same time, same station, for Dane Clark in Crime and Peter Chambers.
And there you have it, a pair of back-to-back shows from NBC on this date 72 years ago. Yes, 72 years ago, April 6, 1954. That was the first program of Crime and Peter Chambers. It would only run from April to September, filling out the time slot where Frank Sinatra's Rocky Fortune had been. He did some television work. He did Broadway. He considered himself just Joe Average. So there you go. And he had a good life, had a good career, did a great number of movies, and did television as well. So that was the good part. All righty, we roll on here. And look at this. Oh, Clark dying in September of 1998, lung cancer. He was still a relatively young man. He was 86 years of age. He had a good life. All right, let's take a look at what's coming up this week ahead here on Classic Radio Theater. Tomorrow we have Bud Abbott and Lou Costello and another Sam Shovel mystery. Amos and Andy. Jimmy Durante, as he thinks he might have somebody to run for president with him. Yeah, because you know Jimmy's running for vice president. Could you imagine a ticket of Durante as vice president and Dorothy Lamour as president? That's a pair to draw to. Danny Kaye from 1945. Tomorrow, comedy here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. More comedy on Wednesday with the great Gildersleeve. Another episode of Amos and Andy from 1947. Lucille Ball in My Favorite Husband and Problems with a Gumball Machine. And an episode of the Jack Benny Show where the IRS comes to visit Jack. And we'll have comedy on Thursday as our 3 in a row of comedy with Phil Harris and the Easter Bunny, My Favorite Husband, Fibber and Molly, and Father Knows Best. On Friday, we will have the Lux Radio Theater presentation of Life of a Bengal Lancer, coming from 1939, and of course, Gunsmoke and Have Gun Will Travel. On Saturday, we're going to have some fun. A 1954 episode of Jack Benny, George and Gracie, the great Gildersleeve, and Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis. On Sunday, Crime Again with Big Town, Dragnet, Escape, and Night Watch. A week from today, Orson Welles as the Marvelous Barasto, an episode of Suspense from 1944. Casey, Crime Photographer, another episode of Crime and Peter Chambers, and the CBS Radio Workshop from 1956. That's all a week ahead here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Anytime at classicradio.stream, not only to support the podcast, but to learn more. We have a write-up there of all 4 of Jack Benny's appearances on Suspense, and might be of interest to you there. We roll on here next, as we'll have Staats Cotsworth come in as Casey, Crime Photographer. That's next.
A celebrated bestseller comes to life in the most monumental achievement in entertainment history. 20th Century Fox presents Darryl F. Zanuck's The Egyptian in CinemaScope, starring Gene Simmons, Victor Mature, Gene Tierney, Michael Wilding, Bella Darby, Peter Ustinov, and Edmund Purdom as The Egyptian in CinemaScope.
And we continue on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We move out of the glass era of Casey, Crime Photographer, and go into more with Staats Cotsworth. This is from 76 years ago, April 6, 1950, and this episode is called The Fire.
Good evening. This is Ken Roberts inviting you to listen to another adventure of Casey, Crime Photographer. Ace cameraman who covers the crime news of a great city. Our adventure for tonight, The Fire. Morning. The first faint glow of dawn is lighting the sky. Inside a small, cheaply furnished apartment in a shabby old-fashioned building glows the more sinister light of fast-spreading flame. Outside its locked door, firemen swing their axes and...
The blaze is in that corner, Ed.
We may kill it with a hand extinguisher, Chief.
I think we can. Get into the bedroom, Joe. Anyone sleeping there's probably overcome.
I'll attend to him.
Chemicals over there, boys. We'll soon have this one licked.
Yeah, but not if we'd gotten the alarm a minute later.
You're right, Ed. This could have been a racer.
Chief!
What is it, Joe?
Come here. Take a look.
Where?
Lying half under the bed. This guy.
Oh, Smoke got him.
Smoke don't make a guy's head all bloody.
Who? His skull's been crushed.
Yeah, and that's what did it. That iron bar on the floor beside him.
Hey, Joe, this man's been murdered.
According to the medical examiner, Miss Williams, this guy was bumped off about 11 o'clock last night.
Well, and he'd been dead around 7 hours when the firemen found him, Captain Logan.
Yeah, that's right. After the killer socked him with that hunk of iron, he proceeded to give this two-room kitchenette and bath a real going over.
Yeah. Then he found what he'd been looking for and started the fire and beat it.
That's the way it sizes up, Casey.
He started the fire, of course, hoping to cover up his murder and search of the place.
Sure. He started the fire in a pile of photographic film, Casey. You know how that stuff will spread ablaze.
Yeah, and how? I was looking at the few bits of film that weren't burned. Old negatives, apparently. That guy seems to have gone in for photography in a big way. A lot of equipment in his kitchenette, enlargers, tanks, good stuff.
And so my tech man tell me.
Have you found any lead to the killer, Captain Logan?
None so far, Miss Williams.
What could the killer have been searching for?
That's a payoff question.
What have you found out about the dead guy, pal?
Not much. All I could learn here was his name was Henry Milton, a quiet guy who kept to himself and held some kind of office job with the C.J. Winber Company. I'm going to the Winber factory as soon as its offices open at 9 o'clock and try to get a real lowdown on the guy.
Good. Eddie and I'll go with you.
Yes, we'd like to know more about Mr. Henry Milton.
I'm shocked, deeply shocked to hear about the tragic death of poor Hilton, Sergeant Rogan.
Milton was the man's name, Mr. Winber, and mine's Logan, Captain Logan.
Oh, yes, to be sure, Logan, yes. Good, faithful old Milton.
I'd like you to tell me all you can about this man.
Yes. Well, I think perhaps I'd better turn you over to my executive vice president. He keeps in slightly closer touch with details and personnel than I do. Oh, not that I'm unfamiliar with the people who work for me, Captain. I regard them all as partners and close friends, but,
You rang, Mr. Winber?
Yes, Purvis. Tell Mr. Haywood I want to see him.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute. Has there been any news of Crowley yet?
No, sir.
Well, don't neglect to inform me at once if any message is received.
You'll be told immediately, Mr. Winber.
Yes, that's all. Get Haywood.
Yes, sir.
Now, Captain, as a policeman, you might give me a bit of advice.
Yeah?
You see, my cashier, a chap named Crowley, went away on a 2-week vacation 16 days ago. He was due back at his desk day before yesterday, but he hasn't appeared. And nobody in the plant here or at his home has received even so much as a postal card from him since he left. Now, do you think I have reason for concern?
If he was my cashier, I'd feel concerned. Have you investigated the books?
Not yet, but...
You better have an audit done on those books right away. Your man is bonded, of course.
Oh, yes, the firm will face no loss, but I pride myself on my judgment of character, and it will be a sad blow. Oh, you're here, Haywood.
Yes, C.J.?
This gentleman is Captain Logan of the police.
Police?
Yes, this is Mr. Haywood, my executive vice president, Captain.
How do you do?
Nice to know you, Captain.
And that lady and gentleman over there, will you introduce them, Captain?
Miss Williams, Mr. Hayward, and Mr. Casey. They're on the Morning Express.
How do you do, Mr. Haywood?
How are you?
A pleasure. Policemen and newspaper people. This must mean that you've got bad news about Crowley, C.J. Unpleasant news.
No, this gentleman and lady are here about a murder.
Murder?
A man employed in your offices was killed last night and his body discovered early this morning. A man named Milton.
Not Henry Milton?
That's the name.
Yes, poor old Henry. He was in our sales department, Haywood.
He was a bookkeeper, C.J., third assistant in Crowley's department.
Oh, yes. Well, that's what I meant.
How was he murdered, Captain? Tell me.
Will you excuse me, as Captain Logan has already told me the distressing news and I have other things to do? You won't mind.
Go ahead, Mr. Winber.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you, Miss...
William.
Yes, of course. And you, Mr...
Casey.
Oh, yes, quite so, yes. Please call on me when I can give you some more assistance, Captain. I'm always ready to help.
Thanks.
Good morning to you all. Good morning.
Well, now maybe we'll find out something, Casey.
About time. I heard your comment, Miss Williams. Evidently you haven't had a very illuminating interview with Mr. Winber.
Mr. Haywood, it was a total blackout.
That guy must have inherited this big outfit, huh?
He did, from his father. Oh, don't misunderstand him. C.J. is a grand fellow, very shrewd in his way. He simply doesn't keep in touch with many things that... Those things are my job. Tell me about Henry Milton, Captain.
I came here to be told things about him, Mr. Haywood. How long did he work for this firm?
Well, I'd say offhand, at least 6 years. He was an excellent bookkeeper.
What do you know about him personally?
Only that he was a bachelor, without any apparent vices. He was a quiet fellow who kept to himself. And, I'll be surprised if anybody here can tell you much more.
I'd like to speak to some of the other people in his department.
Yes, sir?
Send them in here one by one, and without any knowledge of his murder or my purpose.
Very well. Excuse me.
I'm afraid we're not going to get very much here, Casey.
Yeah, it seems this Milton was a kind of mystery man.
Oh, Casey, did you notice the gorgeous diamond that Mr. Haywood wears on his finger?
Yeah, quite a ring, isn't it, Annie?
Yeah, I must have turned a delicate shade of envious lettuce green when I saw it. It's 4 carats at least. A beautiful engagement size.
Yeah, Casey, why don't you buy your girlfriend a little piece of ice like that?
Yeah, why don't I also buy a yacht and a country estate? Yeah, but Haywood doesn't flash the only big headlight in this joint. The one C.J. Winber had on his finger wasn't broken off any bottle.
Mr. Winber wore a diamond ring?
Yeah. Did you notice it, Annie?
Well, no.
I didn't either.
I don't know how you could have missed it. Oh, well, come to think of it, though, he turned the stone around to the inside of his hand while you were introducing yourself, Logan. Guess he's one of those nervous guys who fiddle with things they wear.
I've brought you our head bookkeeper, Captain Logan.
Fine, Mr. Haywood. Now we can get back to business.
Hop in the car, Annie.
Mm-hmm, with pleasure. Well, time we've spent in the Winber plant's been a dead loss, Casey.
Yeah, nobody knows anything about that guy Milton at all, except that nobody liked him.
Which doesn't give Captain Logan much to work on.
Well, we might as well enjoy the scenery, eh?
What scenery? The factories on that side or the billboards on this side?
This becomes a nice old country road after we round the curve just ahead, kid. Yep, we'll see spring busting out all over.
Oh, I'm too tired to look at it. You know, someday I'm going to quit this newspaper racket and get married and live like a human being.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pick the guy?
I'll take the first one who slips a diamond on my finger. And it doesn't have to be the size of Mr. Haywood. Anything that shines just a little bit will do.
Oh.
So whoever gives it to me won't have to be in the country estate class.
You mean, that leaves the field wide open, huh?
Yeah.
Well, personally, I got no use for diamonds.
You wouldn't.
You take my advice, kid, and hold out for a country estate. There, now you can look at some real scenery, Annie. Look down there on that valley below us, huh?
So what?
Oh, so it's nature in her fairest aspect. Budding trees, new grass, birds.
And bees.
Hey, nature pulled a sneak play there. Look at that. There's been a landslide.
Part of the hill took a trip down to the valley.
Huh. Must have happened very recently. I was along this road only a month or so ago. I ought to stop and ask that old guy sitting on the fence.
Oh, I want to get back to the office, Casey, and then home. What do we care about an old...
The slides messed up a view I've often enjoyed, Annie. Hey, Pop.
Speaking to me, young feller?
Yeah. When did this landslide happen?
Just a little over 2 weeks ago. During that raining spell we had.
Rain did it, huh?
Yeah, I imagine so. It happened during the night, so nobody knows.
How far did it slide?
Quite a spell.
As far as that, huh?
Yeah, maybe a little further. I figure rain loosened the ground under a big rock it was here. And when the rock started to roll, it carried part of the hill along.
You mean the big white rock that looked like a warty cucumber?
That's the one.
Yeah, it's a wonder that old cucumber rock didn't do a Brody long time ago, Annie. It was only sort of balanced there.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
I've been telling folks for years it was going to fall someday and take half the hillside with it. I always said, let a strong man stick a 8-foot crowbar under that there rock in the right place, give a healthy heave, and over she'd go. No man ever tried it, but the rain proved my point.
Sure did, Pop.
Well, let's get along, Casey.
Oh, okay, Ann. Well, thanks, Pop. So long.
So long, young fella. Good luck to you and your missus.
I'm not his missus. I'm not even a friend.
Well, Annie.
I hate men who have no use for diamonds.
Now, as you was saying, Casey, before I had to wait on that customer.
Wasn't saying anything, Ethelbert.
Well, you was gonna say something, wasn't you? You ain't gonna just hang over this bar and not talk.
Got nothing to talk about.
How about the Milton murder? Have the cops learned anything new since yesterday morning that...
No.
Where's Miss Williams?
No. Well, the office, I guess.
She, sore at you?
Well, if you must know, yes.
What was she sore about?
I don't. Oh, women. Women. You never let a guy understand them, Ethelbert. You think they're kidding about something. Like something like diamond rings, for instance. And then you kid back. Find yourself in the soup.
I don't pretend to know much about women, Casey, but if perchance it was diamond engagement rings you tried to kid about, I have learned that ain't a safe subject with the unfair sex. Us bachelors are natural prey for the female of the species, and all women are wolves.
Is that so?
Anne.
Huh? Oh, Miss Williams, I didn't see you come in.
Oh, that was evident. And how are you, Casey? Why, I haven't seen much of you since yesterday.
Well, I've been around.
Oh, have you? Guess I didn't notice.
Anne, about yesterday.
Oh, yeah, the Milton murder. I suppose you've talked to Captain Logan today. Is there anything new?
No, look, kid, what I started to say is...
I just got some news from the city desk. It has no real bearing on the Milton case, but...
I don't care anything about the Milton case. I'm trying to tell you
I'm sure you'd like to hear this.
Well, I don't want to...
That missing cashier at the Winber plant. They just found out that he embezzled at least $100,000 from the firm before he left.
Well, so what... He did?
Uh-huh. And C.J. Winber and his bonding company have just called the cops to start a search for him.
The guy's got over 2 weeks' start.
Now, what was the matter that you wanted to talk about?
2 crimes connected with a Winber outfit.
I asked you
Embezzlement and murder. Starting at the same point and becoming evident at almost the same time.
Casey, you started.
Anne, I got a hunch.
Oh, no. Not one of those things.
Yeah.
Don't keep us in suspense.
Look, we figured that Milton's killer found what he was after in that apartment. Well, maybe we figured wrong.
Continue, Superman.
Oh, come on. Cut the rough stuff, will you, Anne?
Why, what do you mean?
Tell me your idea, Casey. I'm interested.
You're okay, pal. I'll tell you. It looks to me now as though the killer started that fire because he'd searched all night without finding what he was after. He started the fire not to cover his traces, but to destroy the thing he couldn't find.
Hey, you may be right.
Yeah. Well, I'll try to prove I'm right now, tonight. So long, Anne. I'm going to Milton's burned out.
Hey, wait a minute, Casey. Casey, wait for me.
Quick, Anne. Let me close this door.
Dark in here. Someday you're going to get into trouble for opening doors that you have no right to open.
The cops expected to keep people out of Milton's apartment. They should have done a better patch-up job on the door the fireman busted down.
You know, I expected a cop to be on guard out there.
Yeah, so did I. Homicide guys went over this joint so thoroughly, I guess Logan figured there was nothing to guard here.
Yeah, they went over it so thoroughly that I can't imagine us finding anything that they missed.
They didn't know what they were looking for.
Do you?
Not exactly. Never mind. Don't waste time talking. Now, let's see. Cops and the killer didn't search where?
How about the plumbing?
Hiding stuff in pipes and sink traps. An old gag. You can bet Logan's guys used their wrenches here.
Seems to me they and the killer didn't overlook any possible hiding place.
I think they did, Annie. Annie, look. The fire didn't reach this bedroom. And the curtain on this window's still in place.
Well, nothing could be hidden in that curtain. It's net. We can see right through it.
Yeah, sure, but the metal rod it hangs on is hollow.
Hey, that's so.
Well, let's see, anyway. Tubing isn't even fully closed in the back. It's an extension rod, see? And I pull it apart. Annie!
What? You found something?
Look.
What is it?
It's film. Rolled up film.
The roll's no bigger than a cigarette.
Stuck in the end of the inside rod. Where did I unroll it? It's negatives. 35-millimeter negatives. 4, 5, 6 of them.
What are the pictures on them?
How can I tell in here? We'll take them out in the hall where there's light.
Casey! Who are you? No! Don't hit me with that!
right, Annie? Are you really okay?
Yeah, Casey. How about you?
Yeah, I'm all right, I guess.
Who's the man who hit us?
The guy who killed Milton. He came back here to go on with his search. When he saw us find what he was after, he went into action.
And good. Did he get the films, Casey?
Yeah. Oh, but when I came to, I found this little torn piece of negative in my hand, Annie. Guess I had a death grip on that one, huh?
Uh-huh. Is there anything on that fragment
let me see.
might...
Yeah, there's something on it.
Yeah. A big black shape, and isn't that a hand showing there?
Closed fist. What good will that do us?
Yeah. Well, Casey, you can enlarge it.
Wait a minute.
What?
This big shape in back of the fist. I've seen that before, that shape.
Oh, what is it?
I can't place it. It's something familiar. Wait a minute, I got it now. That's the warty cucumber.
Warty
cucumber? The rock, the big balanced rock that caused the landslide. Come on, kid. We're going back to the office where I can blow this thing up and be sure. Look at this blow-up, Annie. It shows the big cucumber rock and plenty more.
What more?
The hand. It isn't simply a closed fist. It's wrapped around a crowbar.
Crowbar? Well, Casey, I
Well,
don't know
you'll
what...
get it all in a minute. Look, what do you see on the hand in this picture?
A ring.
Set with a big stone that may be a diamond.
Yes.
And we've met two guys who wear big rings like that.
Haywood and C.J. Winber.
Either Haywood or Winber murdered Milton. And another guy.
Another guy?
Uh-huh. And either Haywood or Winber socked you and me just a little while ago.
And I'm not forgetting that. But which one?
Early tomorrow morning. You and I and Logan will go to the Winber factory and find out.
I suppose, Captain, that you've come to see us about the distressing disappearance of Mr. Crowley, my former cashier.
I don't handle embezzlement cases, Mr. Winburn. I'm strictly a homicide cop.
Well, then you're continuing your inquiry about the murder of poor Milton?
About the murder of Milton and your cashier, Crowley.
What? Well, Crowley hasn't been murdered that anyone knows of.
One person knows of it. The guy who did the killing.
I say, what?
That's a nice diamond ring you wear, Mr. Winburn.
Did I... Captain, how can you turn the subject to rings immediately after you mention murder?
Murder to Logan, Mr. Winber, is simply a matter of business. Your ring interests him because he didn't notice it when we were here before. You had the diamond turned inwards.
Yeah, for some reason you got it out of sight when I introduced myself as a cop.
I'm afraid I don't understand.
But for no reason, maybe, you haven't bothered to hide it today.
Now, will you gentlemen please tell me what you're driving at?
You sent for me, C.J.? Oh.
Sit down, Mr. Haywood, and join our party.
Thanks. I didn't expect to find you here, Captain. It's a pleasant surprise. Good morning, Miss Williams. Casey?
Good morning.
Have a good night's sleep, Haywood?
Why, yes. Fine, thank you.
I didn't. Neither did Miss Williams.
We had headaches.
I'm sorry.
How did you sleep, Mr. Winber?
I always sleep well. And now I'd like to know why you're...
I'm going to tell you with Logan's permission.
Shoot, pal.
Well, some time ago, one of the big shots in this company started to steal money from it. And he covered his thefts by doctoring the books. That sort of thing was bound to be discovered, of course, eventually. And Mr. Big Shot planned to cover himself by shifting the blame to an honest cashier.
Mr. Casey?
Your cashier was going away on a vacation, Mr. Winber. And on the night before he was to leave, Mr. Big Executive, on some phony pretext, got him to the top of a hill not far from here and pushed him over the steep edge.
You mean Crowley?
Yes, Mr. Haywood. Then this Mr. Big Shot, who had a crowbar handy, pried several tons of balanced rock off its perch, causing a landslide that buried Crowley very, very deep.
And how do you bring Milton into this, Mr. Casey?
Milton was a bookkeeper, Mr. Winber. He'd gotten wise to both the embezzlement and the embezzler. And he decided to cash in on what he knew. He began trailing this executive and sneaking pictures of him, very incriminating pictures. One of them actually caught the guy tipping over the balanced rock. Finally, he showed prints of his pictures to Mr. Big Shot and told him to come across with heavy dough, or else...
Milton tried to blackmail this Big Shot.
Exactly, Mr. Haywood. The Big Shot then killed him, took the prints, and did his best to find the negatives that they'd been made from. But failing that, he tried to burn the negatives by setting fire to the place. But a fire company reached Milton's apartment before the blaze had done much damage. Well, I managed to find the negatives, and he got them away from me. But he left a little piece of one of the negatives in my hand. That's going to send him to the chair.
And who is this man, Mr. Casey?
The guy who wears a swell diamond ring, Mr. Winber.
Good heavens, you don't think that I...
No. You wore your ring today. But the guy who left that piece of negative in my hand last night knew that a ring might help to nail him. You're not wearing your diamond, Haywood.
No. But I have a gun. Haywood, don't make a move, Captain. Or any of you.
Haywood, you...
I'm the man Casey's accusing, C.J. I don't know whether he can back up his accusation, but I'm taking no chances. I'm getting out of here, and no one's going to stop me.
Is that so?
Anne.
Miss Williams.
Well, he hit me on the head last night, didn't he?
Yeah, but how did...
This guy's out cold, and all you hit him with is that little handbag.
This little handbag has half a brick in it.
Half a brick?
I put it in there this morning just hoping I'd get a chance like this.
You... Logan, the female of the species
is more deadly than the male.
So now you're a KO artist, huh, Miss Williams?
Haywood didn't come to till he reached the old jail.
Well, I only gave him half of what's coming to him.
Has he owned up that he killed that cashier and Milton?
Mm-hmm. After a bulldozer went to work on that landslide this morning and uncovered the cashier's body.
Miss Williams, that's a swell ring on your finger. Where did...
Ask Casey.
Well, you see, that was... It was C.J. Winber's ring. He wanted me to have it as a reward for trapping Haywood, but, of course, I got no use for diamonds, so...
So, Mr. Winber gave it to me.
It kind of looks like a engagement ring.
Well, it isn't.
Annie, I priced a beautiful little house today, way out in the country.
A house. Oh, way out in the country. Well?
I couldn't afford it.
I'm going home. Good night.
Oh, well, wait a minute, Annie. Annie, wait for me.
I don't blame her. Who'd want to live way out in the country?
This adventure of crime photographer starring Staats Cotsworth as Casey came to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio Service, the voice of information and education.
A lot of shows have been recovered thanks to our finding them from old Armed Forces recordings that would remove the commercials and make them available to our troops overseas. I was trying to think of the Anchor Hawking Glass Corporation, the most famous name in glass. Tony Marvin pitched that real strong. But they only ran from August of 46 till March of 48 as the sponsor of the program. But we do actually enjoy hearing these shows of Crime Photographer. Casey, Crime Photographer, 76 years ago, April 6, 1950, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. A show that didn't really have any sponsors that I'm aware of is Barry Craig Confidential Investigator, William Gargan, and that's next.
Three Coins in the Fountain. 20th Century Fox presents the love story behind the love song that's sweeping the nation. Starring Clifton Webb, Dorothy McGuire, Gene Peters, Louis Jordan, Maggie McNamara. Don't miss Three Coins in the Fountain in CinemaScope.
The tale of William Gargan and how much we lost because of William Gargan's throat cancer remains a mystery to this day. As most of you know, Yesterday was Easter, and we have done this before on classic radio theater. But William Gargan did a 1942 series called The Living God in connection with a Catholic organization. And I air that on the local radio station here in Ely, Nevada at 7:35 in the mornings for Holy Week. We aired that, as I said, for Holy Week, simply because we wanted William Gargan's work to be remembered, and we wanted something special for our local Christian audience, and we thought it was good. But William Gargan's throat cancer just took an amazing voice out of the use. He did come back and was a strong fighter for cancer, cancer research, but Gargan, my goodness, what he could have done in acting and what he did in producing after his voice was gone. We're going to hear him now when his voice was with us from 72 years ago, April 6, 1954. Also in that same wonderful NBC lineup on that Tuesday night. This episode of Barry Craig Confidential Investigator is called The Schemers.
William Gargan stars as Barry Craig, confidential investigator.
The best time to die, folks, is in your own good time. But try arguing with a bullet.
The National Broadcasting Company presents William Gargan in another transcribed drama of mystery and adventure with America's #1 detective, Barry Craig, confidential investigator.
Barry Craig speaking. Not every client you get is a socially upright citizen. But then the only society of angels is up in heaven. Mere mortals are honorable only to a degree. The almighty dollar being what it is. The gent who plopped beside me on the Fifth Avenue bus didn't look too kosher to me. And it wasn't only because of the scar on his cheek. I know scar-faced judges. Just call it my hunch. I transferred my wallet to the side pocket furthest from him.
I'm not a dip, friend.
Second story?
Wrong again.
Carnival show with arson as a sideline? No, don't tell me you're in some honest trade.
I am.
Now, this is.
You better yourself every day, friend. Begin bad, end good. That's life, no?
No comment. So, tell me.
You think I sat next to you on purpose?
I can tell when a guy does. You got me sized up by now?
Not quite.
Well, am I hired or no?
First, consider what I say. I murdered a man an hour ago.
Oh, it's a fine day for it.
I shot him. Now I've got him in a sack.
Busy, little bee.
I had the best of motives.
That ought to reassure the corpse.
You're a confidential investigator.
Guilty.
Your license makes you a technical arm of the law, sworn to uphold it.
You've been reading my war literature.
It's your duty to detain and arrest me.
I'm not the obliging type. Sorry.
I'm getting off the bus. Getting off.
Adios, amigo. Weird? Not so. I got my anonymous friend's feeler right off. Was I really confidential, he wanted to find out. Find out before he dared to hire me. His story was a fake. Done to see if I'd grab him and yell police. I'd be seeing more of him. I got to see him again in a health club and gymnasium while I was working out, shredding stomach fat in a punch bag. My friend showed up to watch me.
Save some of your punch for me, Craig.
Well, back with me again, huh?
Park on the bench here. We'll talk.
Yeah. Well, I'm parked. So?
I'm Moody. Gyp Moody.
Gyp, huh?
Gyp means I've got gypsy blood.
Oh. You, get rid of that corpse, okay?
It's only kidding you.
You think?
You're for me. You don't run blabbing what you hear.
So glad I passed your test. Now, what's my job?
$200,000 stolen from me 5 years ago. I want to get it back.
Explain.
Johnny Phoenix stole it from me.
Phoenix? Yeah, I dimly recall. A company treasurer or something.
An ex-con I gave a chance to work.
Work at what?
In my company, export-import. Phoenix robbed my safe and blew town.
And got caught?
He was grabbed in Canada, extradited.
And convicted? I'm a little hazy.
Convicted, yeah. But he didn't do time.
He didn't?
Not in jail, I mean. He acted crazy all through the trial, kept screaming about gophers and dragonflies and some dead ant.
An act?
I don't know. He did wear a silver plate in his skull, and a twitch to him that closed one eye every 10 seconds. Anyhow, the judge took notice. Phoenix got a mental test, dementia, something or other, a doctor called it.
Split personality.
Yeah, that. Phoenix was not responsible for his actions.
He went to an asylum?
Riverhead Asylum, upstate. Comes out tomorrow.
Out? Free?
Yeah, it's in the papers. Here. Johnny Phoenix, Judge Sane, freed on a show cause writ.
Does he still stand trial for the original theft?
No, he isn't the same guy who did the original robbery. So a doctor says. The DA agrees, so does the trial judge. Phoenix is a new man, cured and rehabilitated. Beat that.
The money was never recovered?
Not a dime. I'm out all that. Big dough, $200,000.
No insurance?
I only had a fraction of it insured. Be there at Riverhead when Phoenix gets out. Stay with him. He's got the dough salted away. When he goes for it, you go for him. I'll give you 5%.
That's $10,000.
If money. If you get my 200 back.
I was in the Riverhead Railroad Station, upstate, right with Johnny Phoenix. He'd been freed about an hour earlier. I kept out of sight while we waited for the train. A good-looking guy, Phoenix. Bushy hair with nature's own Marcel in it. Spare, broad-shouldered. A good clothes horse when he could get properly togged out. No pallor to his skin. You'd never know he'd been confined. Well, the train rolled in, and I watched Phoenix climb aboard. When I tried to do likewise, I found opposition.
One moment, sir.
Hey, let go of my arm.
My authority.
A badge.
I'm Sims of the State Police.
In civvies?
Yeah, I'm off duty. However, you're under arrest.
For what?
Molestation. A woman complained.
Molestation, meaning mashing?
That's right. Her description of the man fits you.
Well, I'd laugh, but right now I haven't got a sense of humor.
Getting tough won't help.
I'm a policeman myself. I'll show you credentials.
Yeah, you do all that. At the station house.
Are we going through with this, boss?
I have authority to shoot a resistor.
Put your gun away. I've missed my train anyhow.
Well, there's a train every 2 hours.
This train was special. Let's go see your complainant. The complainant looked like she'd had trouble with mashers since pigtail days. Blonde, cream-cheeked, born to wear silk.
Ma'am, is this the man who annoyed you?
No, they have a superficial likeness, but my annoyer was oilier, grosser, and on his chin here, a cleft.
Thanks for the exoneration, doll.
Followed me around the station, talking at me in some strange tongue.
Esperanto. Can I go now?
Sorry if I caused you any inconvenience.
Oh, it was nothing at all. I'm only out a probably lousy $10,000. Back at the Riverhead station, again waiting for a train out, I tumbled to a masher mistaken identity routine I'd been caught up in. I watched for Golden Girl to come back to the station. When she did, I really molested her. Hello, doll.
Doll, are you out of your mind?
I'm mad over you.
Mad? Oh, you really mean mad. I'd like to apologize
Don't bother, just explain it.
My arm, please, you're bruising it.
All right, talk.
Well, the circumstances are plain. Here in the station before, a man...
An oily fellow. My size, shape, wearing my clothes, as you told State Trooper Sims. Only oily, your guy. Therefore, not me.
An honest mistake?
Dishonest, baby.
Why, what do you mean?
The only person molested in this depot today was me. And you engineered it deliberately.
Deliberately? Why, that's absurd.
To keep me off the train, Johnny Phoenix left Riverhead on.
I can't understand a word you're saying.
You've got me grabbing your arm again, baby. Who are you? I can be gentlemanly, I can be very rough. Well, do we wrestle?
All right. I'm Rita Phoenix.
Sister or wife?
Wife.
Our train. We'll travel together, baby. Closer than Siamese twins. You made me lose Phoenix, but you're going to help me find him again. You're going to lead me back to him. Come on. Trains don't wait. On the train, we sat as close as the law allowed. I took the precaution of searching Rita's handbag. The ivory-handled gun surprised me just a little bit.
I won it in a raffle. Does that explain it?
Okay if I borrow it, baby?
Can I stop you? I want a drink.
So do I.
Can't I even go to the club car without you?
We're inseparable, remember?
Boy, can I get a hate on you.
Inseparable. Only thing I was wishing aloud. We were going to be separated. By no choice of mine. It happened in the club car while Golden Girl was watering her tonsils with Smirnoff vodka. The fellow flopped on the lounge beside it. With a beauty like Rita available, the dope chose to sit on my side. I knew why in less than a minute. I knew by the gun in my rib.
Do I have to spell it out, Craig?
G-U-N. Gun.
I'm glad you're quick on the think.
The feel.
Now, this is where you leave Rita Phoenix. You've been hogging her company a long while now.
You really expect me to obey?
I know what you're thinking. The crowded club car, people all around us, conductors and stewards, but it won't help you, Craig.
You'd have to be pretty desperate to shoot.
You'd be crazy to tempt me. Dough, Craig. I drool when I think of the amount of dough at stake.
All right. What's your play?
That's better. The station up ahead, Sooner Falls. We roll into it exactly 3:47. That's in 4 minutes. You're getting off the train.
Alone?
Yeah. At the station, someone's waiting for you. Friend of mine.
You plan far ahead, huh?
I've got a knack for detail.
How do I come out in all this?
You just lose a client and an opportunity. No other harm done.
I lose Rita.
Yeah.
I lose her, and she's your pigeon.
Look, let's not stretch this conversation. 3 minutes now, and we stop. Let's start moving to where you can get off.
In Sooner Falls, I watched the train continue on to New York. The someone waiting to greet me was right on hand as promised.
Hiya, pal.
Put his face between two loaves of bread, and you could call it a giant meat burger.
Hey, what are you staring at my kisser for?
It's ugly.
Now, is that nice? My car's there.
Is this ride necessary?
Yeah, Canby set it up.
Canby, huh?
Oh, did I just leak his name to you?
No. Canby's an old acquaintance.
Oh.
What makes this station so lonesome?
No people. Sooner Falls is a hick town. Nobody in it.
Why are you in it?
For my asthma. I got asthma bad. This burger's pollen-free. So let's ride now, huh?
Where will we ride to?
Around.
Just around?
Yeah. You're worrying. Don't. This rot on you don't mean nothing. No holes in you, so don't worry, huh? My orders is just to stall around with you, see the sights, run you into 6 o'clock, and then give you the heave.
Run me into 6 o'clock. Until Rita and Canby land in New York, get off that train, and get lost together. Canby doesn't want me phoning ahead.
Hop in, pal.
Delighted to. I'd love to tour Sooner Falls. Hey, let go of my throat when your lovely face turns from beet red to purple. Let go. It took a long time throttling. And when he finally dropped, I fell on his gun. And just lay there. I left my meat-faced friend in a semi-conscious stupor and hurried into a pay station telephone. Operator, get me long distance. New York City. Police headquarters. Person to person, reverse charges. I want to talk to Lieutenant Trav Rogers. Finally, at long last, I arrived in New York. I'd sure missed a lot of trains. Trav Rogers had come through for me at his end.
The man and woman you described on the telephone got off the train here in New York. They went off in separate directions.
You had them shadowed?
I did.
Where'd they go to?
The lady's registered at the Parkfront Hotel as Rita Manning.
A phony name. She's Rita Phoenix. How about Canby?
He checked in at the Kilgore Hotel.
Kilgore? New name to me.
Over in Brooklyn Heights.
Oh. Rita, the Parkfront Hotel. Canby, the Kilgore. Anything else you can enlighten me on?
I think so. That story of Johnny Phoenix you told me over the long-distance phone. The original theft from your client,
Jip Moody.
The subsequent trial of Phoenix, his insane behavior in court, and the resultant confinement in an asylum.
Etc. and so forth. What can you add to it?
I found a discrepancy in your tale.
What?
The alleged $200,000 Phoenix stole.
Alleged?
In my review of the record of the case, no such sum. Phoenix was booked and tried for the theft of exactly $50,000.
For a fact?
I have a duplicate of the district attorney's file, if you'd care to see it.
I'll take your word. Quite a gap between $200,000 and $50,000.
A gap that can buy beaucoup cherries for the wine. Your client magnified the figure to fire your zeal as a retriever?
No, Moody's queer, but not like that. His $200,000 figure has some other significance. What? I can't know until I put the question to Moody. Phoenix never disgorged any of the loot?
Not a kopeck.
What did the police do about it? About trying to recover the money from Phoenix, I mean.
Oh, the usual devices and pressures. All we accomplished was a show put on by Phoenix.
He acted nuts.
Climbed the walls, screaming he was a chimpanzee in a jungle.
After Phoenix's asylum confinement, what police activity about the money was there?
The obvious.
A police plant right on the asylum? Hoping to catch Phoenix in a rational moment? Win Phoenix's confidence?
Yeah. Quite an assignment for a cop. Feigning insanity. We had to change our plants every 10 days. The sheer wear and tear.
The plant began to wonder about himself, huh? Was he or wasn't he Napoleon Bonaparte?
Environment, they say, molds the personality.
Ha ha. Trav, as usual, you've been a big help.
Mm-hmm. Write a letter of commendation to my superiors.
My client, Moody, didn't exactly like explaining the discrepancy between $50,000 and $200,000.
$200,000 was stolen from me.
You're still avoiding my question. Moody, I want to know. Why did you only charge Phoenix with stealing a measly $50,000 in your original police complaint?
I had, private reasons.
Now, if I'm to come through for you, I can't be in the dark.
Well, the bulk of the money was a sum I couldn't afford to broadcast publicly.
Whatever that means. You're in export-import, huh?
Yeah, export-import.
Export-import is a pretty broad heading. It could cover a lot of operations. Above board and underhanded. Legitimate goods and contraband of some kind.
Let it go at that.
Cash deals in the dark. No record of it on the books.
Stop making out a case.
A fraud against the government. Tax evasion.
Keep it up, we'll have a parting of the ways. I'm not on trial with you, Craig.
I like to know the character of my client.
I'm honest and dishonest. What's so unusual about that? Every second guy you meet.
Yeah, the buck for its own sake. No wonder the old world's in a spin.
Phoenix took advantage of my sensitive situation.
He knew in advance you could never prosecute him for the whole sum of money he stole. That you couldn't come into the courts with clean hands.
Yeah, that was Phoenix's gimmick. You going to use any of this against me?
Ask me that when we're counting your $200,000.
Now, what answer... Oh, I get it. When you're counting your 5% fee, you mean? Sure. You like money like everybody else.
Now, tell me something. Who is Canby?
I don't know. Never heard the name.
An alias, maybe. Now, you recognize his description? Well-built, a little on the short side. 5'7", say. Brown hair, brown eyes. Natty dresser.
The description means absolutely nothing to me.
That's funny. Here's a guy who knows you well enough to be scrambling for your money.
Well, it's a mystery to me. Leave a side of beef exposed and the jackals come around.
Jackals and jackasses. Okay, I'll circulate around.
Craig.
What?
The way you cross-examined me before, like a cop, not a confidential operator on my payroll.
So?
Don't double-cross me.
Or?
I'm not stupid. And I'm not helpless.
Put it on the line, Moody.
Be a cop with me after all? I'll kill you.
I'm sure you could.
Well?
Well, what?
Reassure me that you're still confidential.
If I did that, I'd only be lying.
Meaning?
I'm not working for you anymore.
You're off the case?
I didn't say that.
Then it is a double cross.
Clean hands. I only like clients with clean hands. So long, Moody.
Craig, stay out of my business.
Your kind of business, Moody, is public business. Oh, they happen like that. Case where you dump a client midstream. Where from confidential cop you change to Boy Scouts. You're working without fee in the public weal and welfare. Great. Only it doesn't buy any groceries. At the Kilgore Hotel over in Brooklyn Heights, I got Canby's room number from the desk clerk. I also got an advance hint on how frantic it could get up in Canby's room. I spied the desk clerk on the telephone the second after I started for the staircase. The desk clerk tipping Canby off to my visit. There'd be a gun upstairs waiting to greet me. What kind of a hotel was it? It was that kind of a hotel. In the hall outside Canby's room, I had a scheme to outmaneuver Canby's gun. Canby? Frank Canby?
Yeah, what is it?
Linen service. I got your fresh linen.
Just a minute.
I flattened against the side wall of the hall, out of line of fire, and waited for Canby to open the door.
Come right in.
Hey! It's my turn to shoot now.
Oh.
In his room, Canby revived before the police ambulance I'd phoned for showed up.
You think fast, Craig.
I have to keep alive.
How bad?
Thigh wound. I only shot to immobilize you.
Very considerate.
You'll live for newer and bigger swindles. When you're free again, that is.
You've got no charge against me.
The Sullivan Law, that gun you carry. And armed assault on me.
Going to pour it on, huh?
Depends, maybe, on how you cooperate.
Cooperate how?
Frank talk.
Ask me.
Where do you come in on Moody's missing $200,000?
I forced myself in.
Meaning?
Well, I'm out of left field. I don't know Moody and I don't know Phoenix. But I do know about the dough, you understand me?
I think so. You freelance in crime. You're a fly. Honey anywhere draws you.
That's it, yeah.
Got a prison record?
So far, no.
Been lucky, huh?
Until you.
Who tried to detain me for you in Sooner Falls?
Hutch.
Who is he?
The next pug. Blackballed out of boxing for throwing fights. He hires out to me. You got away from him, huh?
I out-wrestled him.
I was afraid of that. Afraid you'd get the phone ahead to New York. Hutch is a pin brain.
You hired him. You should have knocked me off on that train.
Yeah, I second guess it that way, too. Only,
Only?
Murder. I shy away from it.
You shot at me out in the hall.
I shot to nick you, slow you up. Well, what are we waiting for?
Police ambulance. Snake eyes for you, Canby. You're out of the game. Pass the dice. With Canby out of the game, I set out to eliminate another player. Rita. I found her in the dining room of the Parkfront Hotel. She didn't bat an eyelash when I joined her at the table, like she was immune to surprise.
You,
Me. Oh, what's good?
Chicken fricassee. What's new?
Canby's in the clink.
Thanks.
For what?
Removing Canby. He's been giving me a bad time.
Asking you where he can find Johnny Phoenix?
Asking me?
Where can I find Johnny Phoenix?
I'm deaf.
Stupid.
Maybe.
You're crazy if you keep dreaming of that money.
I've stopped dreaming.
Meaning?
My husband gave me the brush. Johnny wants a divorce.
What does Johnny say about the hidden loot?
Not a word to me. What do you say about the loot?
Meaning?
Us?
No deal. I get the money, I kiss it once.
Then?
Hand it over to the authorities to be held in escrow for Gyp Moody. Now, where do I find Johnny Phoenix?
Expect me to tell you?
You might, seeing Johnny's read you out of his life.
742 Bond Street, a rooming house. Johnny's holed up there. When you surprise him, tell him you're there by courtesy of Rita. Rita without love.
At 742 Bond Street, I finally got back with Johnny Phoenix. Funny thing, though, Phoenix didn't seem to care a bit.
The money, Craig, I don't want it.
Because keeping it is too hard?
No, the fellow who stole it. I'm no longer him. I've had therapy. I've got a different focus now. Whole new plan for living.
You sound like a walking testimonial for prison psychiatry.
I feel lighter. I don't walk, I bounce. You know what I've done these 2 days I've been free?
What?
Read books, gone to church, looked through the one ad.
Hooray for the new man. So where's the dough hidden?
Buried in an empty lot in Long Island. A town named Fullerton, where I grew up as a kid.
I'll drive you there. Let's go. In Fullerton, we ran into a surprise. No empty lot.
I don't recognize the setting.
You've been away 5 years. Just what's different?
Well, what you see, the house standing there, that Cape Cod.
You say the house there was built on the empty lot you buried the money in?
Yeah, the exact spot. There are markers around. I recognize that clump of trees there. I counted 20 paces north and 2 paces east. Then I buried the money.
That would put the money smack in the middle of the foundation of the house.
What'll we do now?
How deep did you dig 5 years ago?
6 feet.
In building the house, an excavation of at least 12 feet was made.
Meaning, the money was exposed to their builder.
Meaning? You wait here. I'm going to make some inquiries inside the house.
Yeah, but what possible good?
Inquiries inside the house. Inquiries around Fullerton, generally. Then some research into police files. I'm curious as to why a house was built on that exact spot. Badly chosen location, in a lowland where rains create a swampland. And with the nearest town neighbor east, west, north, and south at least 200 yards away. Wait here, Phoenix. I made my inquiries, nosed around, did my research. The following day, I dropped in to see Trav Rogers to tell him who to go arrest.
I'm to arrest a homeowner in a town on Long Island called Fullerton?
That's right.
A homeowner named Cy Canaday?
Cy Canaday, alias Joe Califf. The name falls on deaf ears, huh?
Should I know it?
A cop should. I could send you pouring through police files on Johnny Phoenix.
Spare me the toil.
Police headquarters assigned stool pigeons and plants to the asylum Phoenix was confined in.
Yes?
I have the names of the miscellaneous and sundry plants and stoolies here. Abrams, Tyler, Wilson, Mackenzie, Califf. Is it beginning to dawn?
Yes, Califf. Joe Califf. A professional stool pigeon the department employed years ago.
A stool pigeon who spent time in a prison asylum with Johnny Phoenix. Time enough to pump Phoenix and get himself a road map to a bonanza.
Double-cross the police department.
You always take that chance when you engage stool pigeons. It's a calculated risk. Califf dug up the money in Fullerton, then had a contractor build him a house right over the exact spot for him.
A weird device, kind of? The house?
Califf's calculated risk. To make the quest for the money look hopeless. The money was lost to the ironies in a housing excavation. He never thought anybody would be shrewd enough to look behind his alias of Canaday, respectable homeowner and family man, at this late date.
But you did.
I might not have. All the time I was making inquiries, I was sure I was wasting time. Cases, Trav, sometimes hang on that slim a thread. So, make the arrest.
You have been listening to William Gargan in another exciting transcribed mystery drama from the adventures of Barry Craig, confidential investigator. Tonight's story, The Schemers, was written by John Robert. Next week, it's the strange story titled The Man Who Wanted to Be Guilty, about which Barry Craig has this to say.
What did the man want to be guilty of? Murder, of course. And he discovered that all you had to do to accomplish that was to kill someone. But he had a little trouble. Listen and find out about it, Good night, folks. See you next week.
The National Broadcasting Company has just brought you William Gargan, starring as Barry Craig, confidential investigator. Featured in the role of Rita was Terry Keane. Don Pardo speaking.
Yeah, it was a busy evening on NBC as Barry Craig, confidential investigator, was, well, actually the evening ran off beginning at 8 o'clock with 15 minutes with Dinah Shore, then a quarter hour with Frank Sinatra singing. And then you had Barry Craig, confidential investigator, Dragnet, Crime and Peter Chambers, with, of course, a John Cameron Swayze newscast in the middle there. And then you had the quarter hour of Fibber McGee and Molly, following Crime and Peter Chambers. So, yeah, it was a busy night over there. Over on CBS, which was really the only one still in the network game at the time. I mean, you still had shows on Mutual and ABC, but the only ones doing really serious programming were those two. And you had Tennessee Ernie Ford at 7 over on CBS, Beulah in the Coral Ears, and then Edward R. Murrow for a quarter hour of news. Then at 8 o'clock, you had People Are Funny with Art Linkletter, Mr. and Mrs. North at 8:30. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, and then my friend Irma, and then Tony Martin. A lot of stuff there. So, yeah. It was 1954. There were still a lot of interesting things going on in the radio business. All right, when Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues in a moment, we will hear from David and Claudia and see what's going on with the safe.
Beat out that rhythm on a drum. Beat out that rhythm on a drum, cause here comes Carmen Jones. The show that jolted Broadway for 2 seasons now lights up the screen in CinemaScope as 20th Century Fox combines the talents of Oscar Hammerstein, Georges Bizet, and Otto Preminger. See Carmen Jones, musical marvel in CinemaScope.
Carmen Jones, you know that we talk about that movie and you hear me do it there, but you have what wonderful names. Harry Belafonte, Dorothy Dandridge, Pearl Bailey, Otto Preminger directing it. It was an amazing movie based, of course, on the original opera Carmen. It was selected for preservation in the National Film Registry. It had a budget of $800,000, which in 1954 was a relatively low-budget movie. And it did $9.8 million at the box office. And part of the reason we don't really hear about it is because it was an African-American cast. Go figure. And by the way, one of the people in that, Roy Glenn. Yes, he's somebody that we talk about a lot. Also, Diane Carroll was also in the motion picture as well. So, yeah, this is quite a thing. If you want to try to dig it up, Carmen Jones, a 1954 American musical, produced and directed by Otto Preminger, a very well-noted individual. Okay, let me shut up and get to the conclusion of this podcast, which will be with David and Claudia. And this episode of Claudia goes back 78 years, April 6th, 1948.
Your Coca-Cola bottler presents Claudia, based on the play and novels by Rose Franken. Brought to you, transcribed Monday through Friday, by your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. Relax, and while you're listening, refresh yourself. Have a Coke. And now, Claudia.
Hello. Oh, blast it, I've disconnected myself again.
Hello. Is there an architect in the house?
Hello, hello. There are 2 architects in the house, and that's all there are.
Why, Roger, you're sitting at the switchboard again.
I certainly am.
Where's Lottie?
Lottie is home taking care of her mother, who has a bad cold in her chest.
Oh. Is David here?
David certainly is here.
Hello, David. I'm here, too.
A fine thing. Isn't a man's office sacred anymore?
Well, if you're not glad to see me, Roger and I will walk right out and leave you here with the switchboard on your lap.
Who says I'm not glad to see you?
Nobody says.
And I am delighted to see you, Claudia.
Take off your coat, madame.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of a freight terminal do you want us to build for you? Now, sit down. Have a cigar.
Oh, I don't smoke cigars. Gave it up last week.
I thought you seemed different. Your face looks absolutely empty.
That's a nice way to talk to a prospective customer. No wonder you've only got 1 freight terminal to build.
1 is more than enough. If only Carrington would come to New York, our 1 would be underway immediately. Instead, he only phones, and things are endlessly delayed now. We're expecting to hear from him any minute.
That's awful.
What's awful about it?
Well, I was hoping you'd come and look at wallpapers with me. That's why I'm downtown.
What do we want with wallpaper?
For the house in the country.
We hardly have a wall.
That is the trouble with architects. No imagination.
No imagination, eh? I suppose you've imagined something better than we have.
I certainly have. Have you ever seen how hard it is to put wallpaper on a wall? My new system does away with all that.
David, we should listen to this very carefully. Occasionally, good ideas come from highly improbable places.
All right. Let's hear it. What is the Claudia Brown Naughton system?
I put up the wallpaper first, then paste the wall onto the back of it.
Darling, it is visionary. What do you think of it, Roger?
It is probably the greatest idea since the invention of the skyhook for hanging roofs.
Oh, yes. It's got striped paint, beat a mile.
You two sound like a vaudeville team. Darling, can you come and look at the wallpapers with me?
Well, I'd love to, but you see, Roger has to go to the bank, and we're expecting a call from Carrington, and somebody has to stay here to answer the phone.
If I leave right now, you'll be able to get away sooner. See you very soon. Goodbye. I'll only be a few minutes.
Goodbye, Roger. Say, David, the wallpaper place is right across the street.
We'll go just as soon as Roger's back. In fact, we can go just as soon as Carrington calls.
Good.
I wish I could get him to come to New York. That's the only way we'll really get things ironed out. Oh, there he is now.
Killian and Naughton, good morning.
Give me that telephone.
Mr. Naughton, who is calling, please?
Hand over that telephone.
Mr. Kelly. One moment, please, Mr. Kelly. I'll see if Mr. Naughton is in. Mr. Kelly.
You don't say. I wonder what he wants. Hello. Hello, Kelly. What's on your mind? The bid. What bid? It's due today? Well, I'll rush it right down there myself. Yeah, thanks, Kelly, for reminding me.
What bid, David?
We're bidding on a school job with Kelly, and now it looks like I'm going to have to rush it right down to the board.
Would you like me to stay here? I'll talk to Mr. Carrington.
Well, I hate to ask you to, but I think I wish you would.
I don't mind, darling, if it'll help you out. Besides which, Mr. Carrington's a very nice man. We always have lots to talk about.
Certainly is lucky you showed up. Now, where is that bid? I think it's over here on this desk.
Look at all the mess on that desk. Honestly, Lottie isn't here for one day, and this place looks like... Well, it looks like an office with 2 men in it.
I was sure I left it over here.
I'll help you find it. What does a bid look like?
It looks like an envelope. That's what it is, an envelope.
Well, there are a dozen envelopes here. You sure it isn't one of these?
It isn't. I looked.
David, look at all the things you have on these desks. Newspapers and blueprints. What are these things?
Specifications. Never mind them now.
And look at all these advertisements and calendars. Don't you people ever throw anything away?
Lottie's the admiral in charge of throwing things away around
Would
here.
you like me to clean this mess up while you've gone?
You can do anything you like when I'm gone. Only help me find that bid now.
You sure it isn't one of these envelopes?
I am positive. What's that one you have in your hand?
It's one of the envelopes.
Well, where did it come from? It wasn't there a minute ago. That's the bid, darling.
Fancy, fancy.
Now, give it to me. I haven't much time.
Mr. Find It All? How long will you be gone?
Oh, half hour at the most. The board is right near here. So long, I'd better hurry.
Goodbye. Oh, David.
Now what?
Wait for the traffic lights.
Yeah, I will.
Hello? Hello? Oh, hello, Mama. How's your cold? You sure it's better? Yes, I'm in David's office. And it's lucky I came because he and Roger both had to go out. No, I won't touch anything. Only I'm going to clean up the place while they're gone. Isn't it awful the way men leave an office when there are no women around? Oh, all kinds of papers. I'm going to put them in the safe and lock them up. Yeah, I thought it was a sensible idea, too. I'll speak to you later. Goodbye, Mama. Thum, 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 thum. La, 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 la. Now, I think I'll take a newspaper and do a crossword puzzle. One horizontal, 6-letter word meaning South American tree. Oh, for heaven's sakes. One vertical, Siamese coin. 97 horizontal, Turkish nobleman beginning with E, 4 letters. Let's see now. This is the most foreign puzzle.
Hello.
Hello, Roger. You're back quickly. Only 20 minutes.
Where's David? Did Carrington call?
He hasn't called yet. David had to take a bid someplace.
A bid?
Yeah,
Oh, you must mean a school job bid. Oh, I thought that wasn't due till tomorrow.
that's what David thought, too. But Mr. Kelly called up, and David had to go rushing out.
Well, it's a lucky thing you were here.
Roger.
Hmm?
Do you notice anything different?
Different? Oh, yes. All those papers. You cleaned them all up. That was nice of you, Claudia. It certainly makes a difference, doesn't it? A wide expanse of desktop.
What's Mr. Carrington going to call you about? You never did tell me.
Well, we hope it's for a last-minute checkup on the specifications.
Oh?
He's just about ready to put the freight terminal out for bidding.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, everybody. Did Carrington call?
No, not yet. Did you win?
Win what?
Win the bid, of course.
We don't know yet.
Well, if you don't know yet, then what was the big hurry?
Roger, you explain it to her, will you, while we try to figure out why Carrington hasn't called yet.
Well, what time is it?
Let's see, I have 1:15.
1:15. Well, it's an hour earlier in Chicago. We mustn't forget that.
David, you didn't even say thanks for how nice your office looks.
Well, it looks empty.
Is that all the thanks I get?
Oh, that's Carrington now.
Do you want to talk to him, or shall I?
No. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Hello? Hello? Yes, this is Killian and Norton. Chicago calling? Yes, I'll take it myself.
It must be Carrington. Now, you talk to him, David, while I find specifications. Now, they must be here somewhere.
Fine, no. Hello? Yes, this is Mr. Norton. Yes, I'll speak to Mr. Carrington. Oh, hello, Mr. Carrington.
David, do you have those papers?
Excuse me a moment, Mr. Carrington.
Haven't you got them? I think they're here on the table.
Claudia, where did you put the specifications that were on the table? I'm sorry, Mr. Carrington. I'll be with you in just a moment.
I cleaned up everything and put everything in the safe.
Oh, no. You locked it. I don't know the combination. Do you, David?
Me? I thought you did.
I keep it written down, but I keep it in the safe.
Oh, well, try something. Try anything.
Come over here and help me, David.
Claudia, here. You take the phone and start talking.
What about?
Please. Here. You had to clean the office. One moment, please.
I think. It starts with 75 3 times to the left.
To the left? I thought it was to the right.
That's this way.
Yeah.
Hello, Mr. Carrington. This is Claudia Norton. Yes. Well, you must come to New York, Mr. Carrington.
It doesn't open.
Claudia, keep talking.
I'm sure it goes to the left. 75. 75.
Yes,
75.
Mr. Carrington.
Oh, wait a minute, you passed it. You've got to pass the number. That's the secret of it.
Well, we'd love to see you again, Mr. Carrington. We just bought a house in Connecticut, and we're going to have a cow. Well, it's a real old salt box.
Once more.
Yes,
Turn
yes,
it easy.
yes, Mr. Carrington, with 78 acres and a brook.
Three times to the left and twice to the right.
David, I'm running out of things to say.
That never happened before. Say anything.
Oh.
It won't open, David. You try it.
But of course I mean it, Mr. Carrington. We'd love to have you come to New York. And then maybe you'll come up to Eastbrook with us and look at the house.
Wait a minute.
What am I saying?
3 times to the right.
That's right.
Twice to the left.
That's it.
48.
Is it coming?
Oh,
It is
yes,
not.
Mr. Carrington.
Oh, Claudia had to tidy up things. I don't see why she couldn't have put the safe away and left the papers where they were.
I have been intending to throw this thing away for many years.
Yes, Mr. Carrington, that's wonderful. Goodbye.
Roger, I think we've got it. I heard something click.
Take it easy, David. Be very careful. It's the crankiest old safe in the world.
Now, let's see here. 47.
That's it.
48.
That's right.
49.
There. Oh, there they are. Right on top. The specification.
You talk to him, Roger.
No, you go ahead, David. You talk to him.
But he's gone.
He's gone? Who's gone?
Mr. Carrington, he hung up.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Oh, dear.
You mean you ran out of things to say?
I mean, he decided to come to New York next week in person. And you know the funniest thing, he seemed to have forgotten why he called while he was talking to me.
That I can understand.
He's coming to New York? Well, that's marvelous. That's just what we were hoping for.
Naturally.
Naturally.
Naturally. And now I am putting these specifications in this fine old safe, and then I'm locking it, and then I'm taking my 2 partners out to lunch.
Shift your packages to the other arm, ma'am, when that bright red cooler hits your eye in the local food store. Stop for a few minutes, treat yourself to ice-cold Coca-Cola, and it'll be a lot pleasanter to go about your business. Stands to reason. You shop more comfortably when you shop refreshed.
Hello there, Mr. King.
Well, if it isn't Mr. Killian. You had quite a time getting that safe open, I see. But I suppose you should feel lucky that the safe didn't have one of those time locks on it. You'd still be waiting to get in.
A time lock and Claudia? The combination is too much for me. She's a charming girl, but I don't think she ever got anywhere on time in her life.
Claudia and David are going to have dinner with Aunt Louisa tomorrow night, you know, Mr. Killian. And I understand that Aunt Louisa runs her house as punctually as a railroad.
Bet you 20 cents, as Claudia says, that she and David don't arrive at the right time.
If they don't, well, I think I'll be listening to hear the consequences.
And so will I, Mr. King. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Mr. Killian. As I was about to say, every day, Monday through Friday, Claudia comes to you, transcribed, with the best wishes of your friendly neighbor who bottles Coca-Cola. So listen again tomorrow at the same time. And now this is Joe King saying au revoir. And remember, whoever you are, whatever you do, wherever you may be, when you think of refreshment, think of Coca-Cola. For Coca-Cola makes any pause the pause that refreshes. And ice-cold Coca-Cola is everywhere.
There you have it, Claudia coming on both sides there, don't you know, making the mess and then getting the client to come to town instead of dealing with it all over the phone. 78 years ago, April 6, 1948, Claudia here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Have yourself a great Monday and a great week ahead. Coming up on Tuesday's podcast, we'll have comedy. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello and another Sam Shovel mystery. I hope you like these. I mean, they're just chestnuts that really tear into the genre of the private eye. Also, Amos and Andy and the Dating Club Disaster from 1944. Jimmy Durante with his guest Dorothy Lamour. Jimmy trying to run Dorothy Lamour as the first woman presidential candidate. Dorothy Lamour and Jimmy Durante? We could do worse. We have. And Danny Kaye and the Diary of a Train Trip to Hollywood. That's all coming up tomorrow here on Classic Radio Theater. Visit us anytime at classicradio.stream. Have yourself a great day, and we will see you tomorrow. For more Classic Radio Theater, I'm Wyatt Cox.